let's do a cheers to the Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello. It's not static, AM radio. It's the Play Alberta Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tune in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromala intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack at 6 o'clock and log in with some sirloin bites. Nom, 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 nom.
Check and get touched. Shotgun dead and I'll come all morning. Hey, 6 o'clock and check and get touched. Don't stop cooking as I feel alright now. Hey, 6 o'clock and check and get touched. Don't stop now. Come on morning. Come on.
Hello, c'est ML.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Gotta see you make me feel. So good.
Morning to you and welcome to the Nielson Show here on Edmonton Sports Talk, streaming on the iHeart, TuneIn Radio apps, The Source, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, YouTube, and of course 95.7 Cruise FM. Lieutenant Eric here with you alongside Wil Fraser and for Dustin Nielson. YouTube Trev will be handling the sports updates and keeping us on air throughout the morning. A great Friday. The eye of the sports hurricane remains. We are right in the center of it. Things happening thick and fast last night. Today's shaping up to be just a beautiful day. At least, I mean, I think on most of our sports schedules, but we'll get into that. A great weekend ahead as well. And again, pleasure to be joined by Wil Fraser here for, was it the second week in a row, third? Or?
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, you're back. You're feeling good, though, hey? I mean, you're all...
Sure, I need a haircut, but besides that, everything else is going great.
I love it. Wil Fraser and for Dustin Nielson. He will have the call tonight. It's the Elks and Stamps to finish off the CFL regular season. He'll also be in Regina tomorrow, Riders and Lions, to wrap that up. We are coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio here, the Nielson Show. As always, right now, if you are a little hungry, you can get that 3-piece delicious bone-in chicken for just $8. www.popeyeschicken.ca for more. And of course, Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. We will have a Play Alberta early bird line of the day coming up midway through the second hour, but lots to get to today. Of course, Oilers, a wild throwback of a win last night on a throwback Thursday. I mean, that's old-time hockey, baby. You got to love it. And, well, you know, a little gift.
We've got to love it. I don't know if
Martin St. Louis and a few others post-game last night maybe weren't.
Stop digging the hole. That's all I got to say to Martin St. Louis.
Well,
stop digging, man.
They are in an evolution of their team that the Oilers were as well at one point when it comes to maybe not getting the rub of the green when it comes to the ref.
I listened to his post-game comments and I was just cringing. Like, I agreed with him.
Yeah.
Everyone agrees with you, man. But you know what you don't do with 70 some odd games remaining?
Yeah.
You don't try to perp walk the refs after the game.
You got some time here.
Yeah.
Best to just move on.
Yeah, man. Like,
Keep walking, Martin.
like that was not a great call.
No.
Like, first of all, things didn't work out for you in a game where you were outplaying the opposition. You deserved better. But then you don't shove your thumb into the eye of the officials that you got to work with for the rest of the season. That was not great.
The Oilers got out Corsied, out Fenwicked, out high danger chanced, out XG'd, out everything last night. But again, good teams find those ways to win. And when you do get a gift from the officials, you don't ask, where's the receipt?
No.
You take the puppy and you enjoy it. So we'll get into more of the Oilers' big win over the Habs. Sounded like a great night there. Of course, always when you have that mix of fandom and things go the way of the home side, I mean, it's all a little more sweeter. So we'll get more into that coming up with your morning after show. That's midway through this hour. Nielson Show is well presented by Weiss Johnson, Edmonton's Train Home Comfort Specialists for nearly 50 years. You can get 10% off any new Train furnace, AC, or heat pump installation from now till the end of October. That's about 1 week away. Bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump. You can get 25% off the package price. Get your home comfortable now for all seasons with Weiss Johnson and Train. It's hard to stop a train. Visit wjsportstalk.com today. Nasty Chat is bumping along. Just want to say as well, before we kind of get going, NFL Week 8 kicking off last night too. You came in here this morning, saw the score, and whoa! Justin Hebert really making work of Carson Wentz. Yeah, Chargers rolled to a 37-10 victory over the Vikings. Chargers now 5-3. Vents hurting the arm a bit.
The old chicken wing.
Yeah, it was a not the best football game. I do love the Chargers uniforms, going back to that navy blue. I think that was a nice throwback. But anybody that picked the Chargers for Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge pick 'em yesterday, I will be contacting you sometime later today. And I just want to look into the Romper Room mirror and thank everyone for coming out last night to Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge, Century Casino, Fort Road, especially to Mandy and Natalie, who did bring a gift, which we'll get to later on in the Crack Pack.
Goodness.
Crack Pack later this hour for Wayne's. We'll be popping some baseball cards, plus this gift from Mandy and Natalie. But Fergie's prostate was there with his Vikings cap, left at halftime because the score sucked. Jay, Jocelyn, Francois, congratulations to Jay's dad, John, who not only won the jersey by being closest on the square board and picking the correct score, he puts the Justin Jefferson jersey on. Then I'm doing
Good
the
for
job.
you, by the way.
What?
Justin Jefferson jersey. You nailed that.
Triple J.
Wow.
We chant "Wear what you win," so he not only won the jersey, he put it on.
Wear what you
Wear
win.
what you win. And the
like
thing
it.
about John was, at that point, the Oilers game, it was 5-3.
Yeah.
Montreal. The football game was out of sight.
Yeah.
He goes, well, it's enough for me. Good night. And he starts walking down to the parkade. And we're like, John, man, you're scoring.
He's leaving on a
So
on a high
Jocelyn
note.
phones him up. He comes back up, wins the jersey, the Justin Jefferson jersey. Then I do the draw to qualify somebody into a trip for 2 to Las Vegas to catch the Raiders and Broncos in December. And whose name do I pick out of the draw box?
Come on.
John, first-time double winner at Sully Sports Barn Lounge. He had a hell of a night, so congratulations, John. And everybody else that showed up, Rob from the Grove, it's good to see you again. Box Pounder and his buddies there. Name always escapes me, but Mandy and Natalie stole the show. More on that with the Crack Pack coming up later on this hour. But it's a good thing we had the Oilers game on.
Yes.
I have not found myself saying that too often during this young season. But good thing the Oilers game was on last night as the Chargers disposed of the Vikings 37-10. Of course, as mentioned, Oilers Habs will get into that morning after show coming up midway through the hour. Crack Pack to come too. Chris Johnston of TSN joins us at 7:05. Play Alberta Early Bird as mentioned as well midway through that hour. We'll do a little that's good.
That's good.
For the Italian Center shop. We'll be going to the Diamond. Trev's excited. He's got the cap on. Canada's team back on the Diamond tonight, Will.
I
Am
hear
doing it right?
I hear I've missed out on a
Gotta
bit
hear
of tension.
You should. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. They are Canada's only team.
Yes, exactly.
The Expos do not exist anymore.
No,
right?
they
It's
don't.
factually correct.
Yes.
But they're not mine. I don't own them.
No.
We don't own them. It's Rogers' team, really. It's not
Rogers' team.
Canada's.
Yeah,
You
it's
if
true.
you said it's Rogers' team, that'd make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
So we'll go there. Game one of the World Series. Game one of the World Series tonight. Toronto Blue Jays, Los Angeles Dodgers.
Canada has fallen in love with this team, though.
How could you not?
There is a national romance taking place.
There's national romance, and there's really no holes in it. And with one Bo Bichette on the verge of maybe DHing or playing, I don't know
Sure.
what. We'll get into all this.
Standing on the dugout fence, clapping.
And not getting hit by a wild pitch, which would take you like. Eugenio Suarez. What do you? I would never let a player sit up top of the dugout again. That's like. If you can't get out of the way of the damn thing, well, you have no business sitting up there. I'm still. And Dan Wilson should lose his job.
There should be some questions. Yeah.
I have lots of questions.
Yeah.
We won't get into any of them today. NFL analyst Mike Garafolo will join us as well to round out hour number 2. Trivia, 3 questions. We're going for what, 35-0, 34-0? 35 today. 35-0. We're still perfect.
Sure.
So you'll come up with the questions. Somebody will answer those, and we'll get there. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the week in which we don't have the beer yet. Hasn't been dropped off yet, so time's ticking.
This has happened.
Yes.
This has
Do you usually
happened.
get an email or a call, or they just kind of... knock on
A
the-
little bit of both. Sometimes it's always an email. I'll be like, hey, someone's coming. They'll be right away.
You got to keep an eye on that.
I do have the nice window here so I can kind
Right,
of look,
yeah.
and that has happened the majority of the time.
Can we just send you for some, like, if it doesn't work out, just go get us some Big Bears,
Sure.
I like that.
Old 45?
Oh, yes.
I like that. Yeah. And we
Some
tape them to our
some
hands.
Wildcats?
And you can't untape it until it's done.
Yeah,
Wildcat Friday. Cool 45 Friday. Tool Shed will be the beer, hopefully. Tool Shed Brewing. Sure.
Yeah.
It is
Honestly,
good.
it is good.
Beer of the week, Late to the Party Hazy IPA. So we'll be hopefully sampling a
I've
little
not
of that.
had this. I'm excited. I hope it shows up.
To the party. Yeah, maybe that's why they're keeping it till late because of the...
That's right.
They're trying to... Okay.
They're
that's
brewing
beer,
it
yeah.
up right now.
A fresh batch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paris Jewelers inbox is humming along as well. 780-218-9999.
Some guy in front of a pot dipping his finger in.
Yeah, big wooden spoon.
Not yet.
Not yet. Needs more dog. Yeah. No, not the beer, but you get it. ParisJewelers.com, Canadian family owned. You can check them out either online or West Ed, Kingsway, Londonderry, Sherwood Park Mall, St. Albert Center. Flexible payment options such as do not pay for 1 year. So if you're looking to get a little bling or maybe...
Does sound flexible.
When did you propose to your wife? What season was it? Was it autumn or...
Yeah, actually, it was
that's a nice-
September 5th-ish.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact.
That's
date.
okay.
I'm
sorry to put you on the spot.
No, it was a Labor Day long weekend. So.
Yeah.
Out in Jasper.
Okay. Yeah. But a fall is a nice time.
Yeah.
I think you just,
Miette Campground.
yeah, I'm familiar with that one. So, yeah, if you were looking to do a little of that, head to Paris Jewelers. Of course, the best text today, you're playing for Royal Pizza. Still making it great. Royal Pizza, $20. RoyalPizza.ca or visit one of their 14 locations in the Edmonton area. Bones says, I'm Fonda Hanoi, Will. Does that
Hanoi will.
Fonda Hanoi, does that translate to you in any? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's from Bones. I don't think you're going to Royal Pizza with that one, Bones. Pick up the work. Was last night what it's like being a Chiefs fan when you get all the officiating calls to go your way? That comes in from Jordan.
Yeah, man.
Maybe the Oilers are there without the rings yet, but I mean, given their success over the years and getting to where they are.
Yeah.
We talked about the fact that the Habs are the mini Oilers, the Oilers of past when you're still young on the block. And you got to have respect.
We've lived that life as fans of the local hockey team. We've sat there watching our young team outplay a veteran squad and then feel like the officials put their hand on the scale. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of it have some crusty know-it-all go, you got to earn your breaks, man. You got to earn your calls. And it would infuriate us at the time. And now we're through that looking glass. And now we're on the other side and we're like, oh, I kind of get it now, actually. I kind of understand what they meant by you earn your calls. Like,
you don't like it when you're being told it.
Yeah. Like the Oilers got those calls last night after a decade of Connor McDavid being interfered with every time he entered the zone.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what they mean by you earn your calls by decades of bad officiating finally going your way. And so enjoy it. You shouldn't feel guilty, Oiler fans. But you should have compassion for your Habs buddy who's sitting there steaming today. You can look at him and go, yeah, you guys played better than us. However, your head coach after the game made all the wrong moves, right? Like, Habs, you lost that game because your young team lost their temper.
I want to know what Anderson, with that whole stick slamming thing.
And took the game out of everyone's hands by throwing a temper tantrum, getting called for it, and then the game being tied up. And then your head coach, who probably should have stepped to the mic and said something calming like, yeah, I felt like we deserved to win tonight, but we have to learn to control our emotions in these situations. Instead, he just absolutely doubles down on the referee criticism. Like, well, Habs fans, don't be surprised when the referees screw you over several more times this season.
He can think that, just not say it out loud. Because
Right.
you can also agree, I think we would all agree, even the staunchest of Oiler fan, that maybe that was a bit of a soft.
No.
I know, but you just don't let them see what you're.
Well, first of all, you should
almost go out and say it was a brilliantly called game.
You should be annoyed by your player.
Yeah.
Josh Anderson, who is not a rookie.
No,
He's a veteran.
Yeah.
That he cost you in that situation. And so you should then be going, I guess I need to put together a proper example of how you control your emotions in this situation. And he doesn't do that. All he does is he says, you know what, guys, you freaked out and you're absolutely justified in doing so.
but instead of, like, I always find it funny when coaches get upset, and this happens all the time. Instead of bitching about it openly, take the extremely drippy, sarcastic approach and say, that was one of the best officiated games I've ever seen.
Eric, you and I have survived as long as we have in this dangerous world by channeling that. By harnessing, by perfecting it, really. These are far more successful people who have never had to learn sarcasm. Nothing in their life is sarcastic.
I just wish for once you'd get you know what, I got to tell you, that was one of the best.
Yeah.
And I would like to
Jacques Lemaire used to be kind of like that. Yeah, he would put his toe into that. Yeah.
There's the odd soccer or football coach,
Yes.
if you will, that can sometimes get a little cheeky when it comes. I just, you're not doing anything wrong. You're communicating your point.
Yes.
I mean, people who know, like you can just wink to the camera, but I think that'd be a very hilarious way of dealing with
I would
the.
get in trouble from our old station manager for that exact thing all the time.
You sound like a Yeah.
Yeah.
Martin St. Louis, if he got an explanation from the referee on Anderson's and sportsmanlike conduct penalty, and I quote, not really, they don't really come and talk to me. Well, maybe if you were a little more nice.
Yeah,
they would.
exactly. Maybe they're just trying to not have to double up the penalties on unsportsmanlike. So they're like, don't talk to Martin St. Louis. You're going to have to give him a penalty if you do.
Hour one of the Nielson Show is brought to you by Ewell, your power play specialists. Ewell has the gear you need for your next electrical project with 3 Edmonton area locations. Plus, you can order online anytime. Ewell.ca. That's EWEL, your Edmonton-based partner in power and source for all things electrical. As mentioned, we'll take a deeper dive into this. We'll bring in YouTube Trev here just after a sports update. We'll also hear from Coach Chris Knobloch. I think after going through something like 75 line combinations thus far through the season, we may have arrived. Hey, Trev, we may have arrived.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's one thing.
We've unlocked it.
Yeah, I really liked how they finished the game last night with their lines.
Oh, you did, hey?
Yeah, it was good.
Wow. That's a shocker.
Those lines. Oh, well, and I know what Chris Knobloch said. He said those are the combos that we're going to be rolling out tomorrow against the Kraken.
But you've been preaching this and I think most people have been saying, like, this is what we've wanted.
Yeah, just let it be. Let it be. Let it be.
But do you have time for also throwing things against the wall, seeing if they stick at this time of the season, just for the hell of it, because they know where they're going to be, and just...
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
nothing. Yeah.
Yes. No, for sure. So this is all pros for me. I can't wait. And it includes the 2 things I want most is seeing those young studs in the top 6, Matt Savoy and Ike Howard.
Hey.
What?
Hey.
They are studs. You don't think so?
No, I don't think.
Whoa.
That's rude. They
No,
are.
it's not.
You come in here and you...
This is a
don't be
town
rude
that
to
has
them.
legitimately seen actual studs. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
They'll be broken up now.
We
But they're
know
old.
what that
They're old.
looks like.
They're old.
Old studs.
Right? They're old studs.
Yeah,
I'm saying young
but
studs coming
this
in,
would be my point.
right?
We know what a young stud looks like. It is unfair then to...
No, those are
You're
those
saying
are
his
gods.
use of the word stud is
Yeah.
being too liberally tossed around.
McDavid is McJesus. He is not a stud. He's a god, okay?
Oh,
Okay.
Same with
we've not
Draisaitl.
taken this.
Those guys are superstars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys are studs.
Oh, okay.
These guys are studs. You say it like that.
What? It's true.
Anyway, they're in the
They're
top
good
6.
young bucks. Yeah.
Yeah,
would
maybe
ta-
that's what I'll say. Young
I
bucks,
would,
okay? Is that
I
okay?
would take obedient gelding at this point. That's all this team needs. Like,
Well, so yeah, I mean, you've got the youth mixed with the superstar godlike power
Yes.
in your top 6.
This is true.
And
And I like it. And that's all I've wanted to see. So,
I think a good spine.
yeah. And
Right?
yeah, absolutely. And I had, haven't even mentioned the Nugent Hopkins, Roslovic, and Henrique line. Like, I thought in the third period, they had a few good looks as well. I think that was Roslovic's best game. Most notable for sure. Or most noticeable for sure. So I like the lines. Let's see what they can do tomorrow against Seattle. And it's Seattle. Like, it's a good, I like them going up against Seattle with these lines.
How about Mangiapane, eh?
Mangiapane.
Mangiapane.
He's a big Mangiapane fan.
You have to say it like,
Mangiapane.
Can't
like an Italian.
I get tagged in so many things.
They call him Monge,
As soon
eh?
as Monge scores.
Monge.
He's got 5 shots
Of
in the
course
season.
they do. Do they call him Monji?
What's that shooting percentage?
He's got 3 goals on 5 shots, so do the math.
Wow.
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 But I know after his last
What a
goal,
stud.
after his last goal he scored, he didn't have a shot in 3 or 4 games.
Oh my goodness.
Which is kind of ridiculous. So yeah, he's got a good shot. I'll
Shoot
give
the
him that.
puck. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's exactly
He wants him
what
to
I'm
fight.
saying.
He's not going to cheer for Monge
He's a weasel,
until he
man.
drops the gloves.
He'll
He
never.
thinks he's
Yeah, he was in the corners. What was it? He was scruffing it up with
he's
someone in his last game.
tenacious. He's
Just be
tenacious.
be better than this.
I've heard the broadcast. Oh, he might drop. No, he's not going to drop the gloves. You don't know who this player is. He ain't got no cojones.
Stud? No.
No.
Just a pretty boy.
Yeah.
Weasel.
Give him
Anyway.
the blue yard.
Yeah, it was a good win, and I'm happy. Well, it wasn't a good win, but they won. So that's
Well,
awesome.
they don't
That's
ask
great.
how, they just ask how many.
I always love that. They don't ask how, they ask how many. No, they ask how.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well,
They,
I never
they
got that one.
incessantly ask how.
we're going to ask how coming up next. Morning After Show's up next. We'll be taking a deeper, we'll put it up on the hoist, under the microscope, the whole bit. Coming up after the sports update for Paramount Flooring. Looking for quality flooring? Visit Paramount Flooring's spacious, family-friendly showroom. Open 7 days a week. You can call 780-483-9400. $19.91. Mention EST and you get 10% off. So we'll take a little break on 95.7 Cruise FM, iHeart, TuneIn Radio app, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, and of course, YouTube. We'll have a sports update here with YouTube Trev. Back with the morning after show, and we'll crack some packs as well before 7 o'clock. Lieutenant Eric, Wil Fraser, in for Dustin Nielson on the Nielson Show. EST presented by Play Alberta.
What a game it was last night as the Edmonton Oilers hold on to defeat the Montreal Canadiens 6-5 in what was their second win in a row. The Oilers hit the road once again. Next game in Seattle to take on the Kraken. Puck drop at 8 o'clock. Elsewhere in hockey last night, the Preds double up on the Canucks 2-1. The Jets get shut out by the Kraken 3-0, and the Senators get by the Flyers 2-1. Just 4 games on the NHL slate tonight. The Sabres welcome in the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Sharks take on the Devils. Washington takes a trip to Columbus to face the Blue Jackets, capped off with an all-Canadian matchup between the Flames and the Jets. NFL Week 8 kicked off last night that saw the Chargers pummel the Vikings. 37-10 is the score. Justin Herbert went 18 for 25, completing 227 yards and 3 touchdowns in the victory, which sees the Chargers improve to 5-3 and the Vikings fall to 3-4. Week 8 action continues on Sunday. 2 games in the CFL tonight, starting with the Red Blacks taking on the Ticats in Hamilton. Then later on, it's the final game of the season for the Edmonton Elks as they welcome in the Calgary Stampeders. This one gets underway at 7:30. Be sure to tune in to the Green and Gold Kickoff Show with Maddie and Milne for the final pre and post of the year. Coverage begins at 6:30. In the majors, Canada's team, the Toronto Blue Jays, are set to play in their first World Series game in over 30 years when they welcome in the Dodgers. Trey Savage gets the start for the Blue Jays while the Dodgers counter with Blake Snell. First pitch at 6 o'clock. Last night in the NBA, just 2 games that saw the Thunder edge the Pacers 141-135, and the Warriors defeat the Nuggets 137-131. 12 games in the association tonight, including the Raptors taking on the Bucks for their home opener. Tip-off for this one at 4:30. And back to hockey, the Golden Bears welcome in the Calgary Dinos for the first half of a home and away puck drop at 7 at Claire Drake Arena. The Sports Update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. Looking for quality flooring? Visit Paramount Flooring's spacious, family-friendly showroom, open 7 days a week. Save now on pet-friendly Shaw carpet with a spill-proof light guard technology. On sale until November 17th. Call 780-483-1991. And mention EST for 10% off. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
Dressed in leather. A friend in need, a friend indeed. A friend who'll tease is better. Our thoughts compressed, which makes us blessed and makes for stormy weather. A friend in need, a friend indeed. My Japanese is better, and when she's pressed she will undress, and then she's boxing clever. A friend in need, a friend indeed. A friend who bleeds is better. My friend confessed she passed the test, and we will never sever. Days dawning, skins crawling. Days dawning, skins crawling. Days dawning, skins crawling. Days dawning, skins crawling. Pure morning, pure
9:34. The Nielson Show continues on a Friday. Good Friday morning to you. Lieutenant Eric Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielson. YouTube Trev, you heard there in a sports update. A little Vasily Podkol's an unofficial goal song, if you will. Placebo, Pure Morning. The goal song that hasn't been yet. But I mean, we'll be forgiven
someday,
because Podkolzin drops them by every once in a while, and then we love it, and we'll play the tunes. So maybe someday we'll put a little modification on that, but until then...
Really was a nice play for the game-winning goal.
Well, nice play and a nice song. They both fit. I mean,
Yeah.
that's and going... I heard it last night. Cam Moon on the call. Love you, Mooner. And I heard it was Podkolzin. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Tomorrow morning's
just
gonna
a
be
little,
lit.
just a little,
Tomorrow's gonna be
fist
lit.
bump. Yeah,
Yeah. So, we get that. Man,
Eric's
probably...
the Mariners fan. I needed this.
I sure as hell did. So maybe we'll play that again later on in the third hour of the show. The first hour of the show, as mentioned, brought to you by Ewell, your power play specialists. Assisting the Oilers as well last night on a few of those PPs. Ewell has the gear you need for your next electrical project with 3 Edmonton area locations. Plus, you can order online anytime. Ewell.ca, EWEL, your Edmonton-based partner in power and source for all things electrical. If you are listening this morning, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio app, hello. YouTube is trucking along. Good to see. Nice crystal clear picture. Give us a thumbs up if you haven't already and subscribe to the channel as well. It goes a long way. Nasty Chat is going. Looks pretty tame Nasty Chat this morning. I think everybody's feeling good given the events of last night and what's to come later today. And, of course, on the mighty 95.7 Cruise FM, crystal clear on your frequency modulation dial. Let's get into the morning after show here. I know you've all been waiting for it. We'll dissect this Oilers' big win, like a swingers club affair last night. Just back and forth, back and forth, and forth.
All right.
Morning after show here. We'll have your Prolux lighting morning after show, bright light as well. We'll get to that a little later on. But simplifying lighting with service you can count on, covering all of your Alberta. Visit Prolux. That's PROLUX.com. Oilers 6, Habs 5, Vasily Podkolzin with the winner. We'll go around the horn here, boys, and maybe it's pretty elementary, but your EST big moment that happened from last night. YouTube Trev, is there a moment that sticks out, maybe aside from the Vasily Podkolzin goal? If you want to go with that, that's fine as well.
Big moment that happened. I always think, I'm like, I know this is going to happen, so I need to think of last night's game, and now I'm on the spot.
Will?
Connor Toronto Blake.
We'll come back to you.
What happened here?
10:41 of the third. Mike Matheson gets called for a borderline tripping.
Yes.
A borderline tripping call. I personally, if it had been called against an Oiler, I wouldn't have had a problem with it.
Okay.
I control your stick, man. It's a game that excels when guys can move their feet, and so
it's a fast man's game. It's
I like when they call trips. I can't stand it when guys get away with trips because it just kills what you love about hockey. So, but that being said, we have seen that not get called millions of times in the NHL. Oilers go out, score on the power play, efficiently so, score on the power play, and then Josh Anderson decides to throw a temper tantrum and gets called for it.
Yeah.
Which can happen, especially if it seems to me there might be a culture of whining in Montreal.
Yeah, people love to associate those two post-game last night. It was a very delicious, of all the teams.
Yeah.
Of all the teams and of all the maybe fan bases, it was especially delicious for Oilers fans to feast on that type of, wine and cheese, if you will.
Yeah, like there is the sort of like you earn your calls sort of thing. And it's usually like you earn it because you put in the effort and therefore the referees notice when you're being obstructed. But there's the other way that you earn your calls. And I think Montreal perhaps earns some of theirs.
Look, this is an original six club you're talking about.
Yeah.
You watch what you say.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly how they operate.
I am with you, though. It's that moment of the third, though, those 3 minutes.
And then Ryan Nugent-Hopkins does Nugent-Hopkins things.
Draisaitl and Nugent-Hopkins, both with their fifth, both coming on the power play. But that sequence, and if you were thinking, too, and maybe this is getting a team, they played in Calgary the night before. Yeah. They came out pretty good. Game wears on. You're in that final frame of the final frame. Mm-hmm. Probably legs are getting a little more heavy than those of the Oilers. But I would have thought if the Oilers had a chance of coming back, tying things up, it would have been a little later on. You're looking at this midway through the third.
Yeah.
And at that point, when you knew Draisaitl gets him within one, Nuge ties it, and you've still got like 8 minutes to go or 7 and change.
Yeah.
It could be Podkolzin, and give me any player anytime. You have a feeling with that much time to go. Like if they came back 2 minutes left, okay, well then there's Montembeault didn't look too good, like too confident.
No.
So maybe
Did that look like a Team Canada goaltender to you?
but with
Can we move on? By the way, just saying.
But with 7.5 minutes left, and the way he looked, you're like, well, this is going to come eventually. It doesn't matter. I mean, anybody can score it, and somebody will. And it was good for Vasily Podkolzin to get his first. And you mentioned off air too with these situations surrounding him as of late. A good little story there. So, yeah, I'm going to go with that couple minutes as well. That was the moment, and after that, you just kind of knew or assumed or expected them to find a way to get a result in regulation. Really.
Yeah, it has to be that. It has to be that. I'm sorry, but like looking at it, I was just looking at the rundown of last night's game, but it's the first one for me, which is what Will said. But I mean, the Habs PK was 100% yesterday in Montreal, and it actually looked pretty good in the first and second as well. But I mean, the Oilers, that was probably the most intense. You know, you could just see like they wanted it. They had to take advantage of it. And that's exactly what they did. And it was good. You know, they finally maybe, you know, this is good not only for that game, but just going forward as well. A little bit of a spark because the power play was certainly struggling. It was like they were so stagnant. It was tough to watch. Like, honestly, the last few games, I feel like the PK had more chances on the opposing team than the Oilers did on the power play. Like they were just leaking chances. And so it looked good. They took advantage of it, and it was nice to see.
Yeah, super stat of the night. I will go with David Tomashek, getting his first, opening his account, assisted by Vasily Podkolzin as well, to even things at 1 in the first period. So was it 24 more for Tony from BP's? Was it 25 goals that he...
I remember him saying 30 to me.
30?
Yes.
Oh, geez.
30.
I like this fishing tail. It continues to get bigger and bigger.
That is a big fish.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
well,
So for me,
Tony from BP's his manager there. And at the EST Golf Classic, he was walking around after a few in some hot sun.
Yeah.
And every member of the staff, he came up to individually and he's like, Tomashek, 25, 30 goals.
yeah.
And if he gets
make a
there,
bet.
we just have to give him credit for saying that.
Okay.
If he doesn't, we eat free for like a year. So like, and again, he was a little under the spell.
I think you were taking advantage of a man.
we kind of were. Yeah. Word got around at the ranch, like, can you see what Tony's doing? And then it's like, you walk up to Tony, hey Tony, what's that bet again? And but yeah, Tomashek, 1 goal.
I mean, a little bit of a Janmark on that one. He didn't really... It wasn't his goal, you could argue. I mean, it was his goal.
He meant to do it.
But
It was all. That's they
didn't
practice
shoot
this. They practice this. Yeah, it doesn't matter how. Matters how many. Yeah. Okay.
Matters how many.
Mangiapane also with his third. You said 5 shots on the season. That's 3 out of 5 for him.
Yeah.
Is that your super stat, or are you going somewhere else? Or?
I can go that way. Yeah, shoot the puck. Honestly, it was... No, I mean...
Little Howie Meeker there.
I don't necessarily hate his play to his offensive side of things, right? Like,
Is his stick too long? Is that the problem?
he's got a nice size stick. But he just, this is a former 30-goal scorer. And right now he's going to be riding with shotgun with Connor McDavid, especially, going forward to the Kraken game. As we're seeing, Connor does not want to shoot it. All he wants to do is pass. So you've got Mangiapane, who's, kind of a little bit of a sharpshooter right now, and you got Ike Howard on his other wing. So those are both guys with shooter mentalities, but take advantage of that as well.
Is there a stat jumping out at you or anything? I am looking at the advanced, and it was Montreal all over the place when it comes to advanced statistics. So, but again, I'm not going to. These are wins that you.
There is one stat.
Okay.
And it sticks out like, and it's aided by a 10-minute game misconduct, but the penalty minutes were 20-2.
Yeah,
it does jump out at you. It does jump out off the page. Yeah. I get that.
That's a disparity.
Yep.
Let alone the fact that the Oilers' lone penalty came in the first period, Evan Bouchard with the slash, and then the next 6 penalties were all Montreal Canadiens.
Adam Henrique also scoring last night, his second of the
Mr.
campaign.
1000.
Mr. 1000, indeed. But Draisaitl and Nuge both with their fifths, and then Podkolzin to finish things off. So, look, 2 games coming up this weekend, Seattle and it's Vancouver, correct? Is that the road trip?
Road trip. Yep. Yeah.
Seattle, Vancouver.
2
Seattle
games.
tomorrow, Vancouver Sunday
Sunday.
night. Sunday night, 8 o'clock. God love it.
Yeah, that's brutal. That is absolutely brutal, man. I go to bed at 8. I'm in bed at 8 nowadays. So these puck drops
Not on a Sunday.
on a Sunday, and that's the thing. It's a Sunday, man.
It's just...
Not ideal. Yeah, I wasn't happy to see that. But whatever. I digress.
Let's get to your bright light once again from last night. Well, 4th star and 38th star. I guess we should do that before we get too ahead of ourselves. 3 stars of the evening were Vasily Podkolzin, goal and assist. Connor McDavid, 3 apples on the night. And Cole Caulfield with a pair of goals as well. Is there a 4th star for you boys that's jumping off the page this morning? And is it the referee? The nasty chat's great. NHL refs are soft. They're almost getting as bad as MLB umps, but not as bad as NBA refs. That comes in from Casino Dealer J. If you were to do a ranking of the big 4 in North America, where would you put NHL referees in terms of NFL officials, association officials, and MLB umps?
I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I think NHL referees do a pretty good job. It's chaos.
Where's
out
that
there.
hot take, Mitt?
Yeah,
Where's that hot take, Mitt?
Yeah, like it's absolute chaos out there. Like just judge it against any other sport at what an NHL referee is trying to accomplish. Like it is pretty Herculean, really. Like I wouldn't want the job.
Oh, no.
Like-
I wouldn't want to be an official in any sport. I'm surprised they can fill the positions.
Yeah, like I see a reason for an on ice, like a referee to still be on the ice. Like I still think that there's things that they see that you can't see from up high or anywhere with a camera. Major League Baseball, though, tell me the reason why there's still umpires.
Because they have an ego that needs to be.
Right? Like
You can't fire us.
outside of affecting the outcome of the game, like unfairly. I don't understand the reason why you have umpires.
But that's part of the sport.
Yeah.
That's ingrained into the fabric of the
Right.
sport. You need something to get upset at.
Yeah.
It'd be too boring if you didn't have a ref to yell at. We kind of have to watch where we go. Do you have a 4th star from the evening, Trev, that you'd like to get to before we get to the 38th?
Yeah, you know what I do? I'll give it to my boy Jake Wellman. Primary assist on Adam Henrique's first of the season or second of the season.
Well, they're
and then-
undefeated with him in the lineup.
Yeah. And
He is
and
different.
He's the sole purpose for
he's the straw
one
that
win.
stirs the blue line drink.
Man, there's going to be more games this season where we're just talking about Jake Wellman. Like, wow, like he's actually just he's a gem, man.
Well,
Like,
he was such a late addition last year that I don't think we fully understood his impact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, for sure.
Especially-
Nor his
especially
potential.
in a regular season context.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, Oilers fans, you should be pumped. This guy isn't. He's a beauty. I like Jake Wellman a lot, but then he assisted on the game winner as well.
Yeah.
So
He's
solid game for
a
Jake
stud.
Wellman. Oh, I almost said I called him a beauty.
I think you can call him a stud.
Yeah, he's a stud.
He's stud.
Man, he just putting them all out there.
Is he a
into the
stud?
pasture. Hey,
Is he a stud?
an obedient gelding. Yes.
Okay. He had a great game.
YouTube Trev's stud farm over
Yeah,
there.
I know that's kind of a, what is that? What your crunch word or what? Not your crunch word. Your heel or what is
Crutch.
it? Crutch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there it is. Yeah,
I
that's-
do like you with a stud farm, though.
Yeah.
I said that a little too
yeah.
much. Maybe I need to dial it back.
No, you don't.
Okay.
38th star, Trent Frederick.
It has to be.
Agreed.
has to be, man.
Yeah. I mean, Wallman's, that edition is over here. Thus far, the Frederick one has kind of been, especially the deal. I mean, that's kind of, it's tough. It's tough slogging right now. Maybe, I don't know what 3 hits.
Yeah, 3 hits, but donuts otherwise,
No.
man. Donuts. 10 minutes of ice time.
And you won't even be around him as a forward.
No.
Like you kind of,
Like, and that's the thing. Like,
Keep him away.
but he's tough. He brings physicality, man. He is not bringing any of that. And I remember last year watching before the trade. It was December, January time, and he returned from injury. And I remember the broadcast just talking about, like here's hoping he can return. But I mean, even before his injury, he wasn't really bringing it a heck of a whole lot. Like it was kind of a Trent Frederick of a shadow. He was a shadow of himself.
Yeah.
So this isn't. I mean, it's surprising to us, maybe, but I mean, I feel like Bruins fans and people that watch the Bruins knew that this was kind of the route.
Do you think they were lying? Like,
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so at all. Like
They were all very sad to see him go, and
to that point.
Yeah.
But I think like diehards would be like, no, this isn't the Tread Frederick that we had 2 years ago.
Okay, yeah, I see your point.
To that sense. So honestly, and then they get him, and he's injured. He's still injured. What can he do when he's healthy? Man, he's healthy. He has no excuses, and he's played himself out of the top line, the second line, and I mean 10 minutes. He is not a stud.
Tails on the Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999 says, hopefully he's still worried about an injury or something. I don't know if that's the correct grammar you want to use, but I kind of get what you're putting down there. Maybe something mental or in that case, and not. But got to figure that out. Bob Loblaw and Lloyd in the nasty chat. Let's hope Frederick is still injured. I guess. You don't want to say it in a bad way, but let's get to Knobloch really quickly here. That is your Prolix Lighting morning after show, and the bright light, I think, is Chris Knobloch here speaking post game. We're finally going to maybe get some consistency in lines as the Oilers embark back out on the road in Seattle tomorrow night. Simplifying lighting with service you can count on covering all of Alberta. Visit prolux.com. Here's Coach Knobloch post game.
Definitely a sense from the guys we talked to in the room that victory's great, but perhaps there's a lot of things to work on. Do you share that view as the coach?
Absolutely. I think maybe the last 10 minutes of the game, it looked like we were a team, played well, but the first 50, it was disorganized. It was lack of work. It didn't look very good, and we've got a lot of things to clean up. So, we're very happy with that we came out with the 2 points. Power play came up huge, and now we can only get better right now.
In your couple years here, I mean, you've shown that you'll make lineup changes, you'll make changes to lines from game to game, within the game. You've had to do a lot of that so far this season. Are you still searching for whatever it is you're searching for, I guess, with some of the alterations?
Yeah, we're searching. The last 10 minutes of the game, it looked like we had found something. And now that might change next game, but, trying to reward the guys who were playing well. And, I thought Howard was one of those guys, the way he was skating. He's figuring things out really quickly here in the NHL. And very happy with his game, where he's at right now. And, we just needed to switch things up a little bit. And obviously, separating Leon and Connor just give us a little more balanced attack. Those two weren't really being as forceful as expected. So I liked how we finished, and we'll continue going that way.
Chris, there's been lots of periods at different times this year where your team has struggled just to complete passes that normally you would complete, like in all three zones from forwards and defense. Can you pinpoint why it just seems to be off a little bit?
No, I can't. Just a simple execution of a pass is it's either confidence, or just maybe not having confidence, or maybe overconfidence. Overconfidence, holding on to that puck too long, looking for a better play, and then that closes, and then you're forced to have a hope play rather than seeing something, moving it quick, and then it gives the next guy a little more time to make a play. And I just think we're just not connected, and that's the coaching staff to get that organized and have them playing together. But we need to execute those plays a little bit better.
Last few games, you've had 5 guys now score their first goal of the year. Do you feel like more guys are maybe starting to get some offensive confidence, and that will help your overall offensive game?
I hope so. I think we're, fortunate early in the game to get the goals that we did. We had 3 goals on just a handful of chances. In the third period, we created a little more, and we're able to, feel good about scoring goals. You can't shoot 4 or 5% all the time. You got to be able to find some easy goals, bounces. We're obviously get a bounce on Tommy's goal, but we need to continue to work and press like we did in the last 10 minutes of the third period.
Chris, you said...
All right, there's head coach Chris Knobloch post-game last night. You heard him talking that's your Prolux bright light of the night, and maybe getting some consistency there in a lineup that a lot of you have been clamoring for since puck drop in Game 1. Let's get into the crack pack here for Wayne's. It's a special announcement I'm passing along from the Wayne.
The Wayne himself.
The Wayne himself, not Wayne Lee,
no,
the hypnotist.
Yes.
Wayne from Wayne Sports Cards. Write it down in your Palm Pilot. Put it on your calendar. November 14 and 15, Wayne's grand opening. Now, they have been open at their new location right next to the Italian Center West End. But they've had to do some things, obviously moving in and getting things set and ready to go and just getting the party favors in line. It'll be November 14 and 15. That's a Friday. That's a Saturday. So make sure to pop down. Nobody does a party like Wayne's. If you've been there on National Hockey Card Day or some of the other big events that they have, they do it right. They know how to do it, and especially with this brand new place. Lots of room, lots of space, activities, thus big screen TV. They're even going to get, I told Nikki yesterday that they need to get a microphone. Wayne to the front, and then, he'll come to the front and it'll be just a prank, and then he'll have to go back and so you could kind of do that all day. It's good to have an intercom system.
I hope those guys are on Ozempic. That's what or Wegovy or some GLP-1 drug. Because
wow,
if I had to work in their location, right next,
it's very tempting.
The Italian Center Bakery and Cafe,
right there.
Like you could get a pizza like that, and it's one of the best pizzas in the city. Like I would be 800 pounds if I worked at Wayne's.
Zipping around on espresso constantly.
Yes.
You think about popping over for a coffee break, and that's right next door.
Like you got, I'm just saying this right now, Wayne. You can't do it on your own. You are going to need medical help.
It's a great staff there. They're all very supportive of each other.
You're going to need a support group because you're all going to be 200 pounds heavier.
Wayne Sports Cards, check them out today while they're still thin. Right next to the Italian Center
there's
shop.
Still room in there.
north of West Edmonton Mall. Sports cards, Funko Pops, Lego comic books. It's nice how they have a nice display case with the comics all laid out, and Magic cards as well, Wayne Sports Cards. So we're going baseball. We're touching them all today. We got Topps 2021 Series 1. Nationals on there. I'll give this to you, Will.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going Ken Griffey Jr. hunting. This is Don Russ. We're going back here for Ken Griffey Jr. rookie, I believe, hunting. I got some gum. And YouTube Trev, this is Topps Baseball 2022 series. It's got Vladdy on the cover, so I thought of you, so we'll give you this one here. Oh, shit. Bad throw. So we'll crack this here, looking for some Ken Griffey.
Oh, how good would that be?
Oh, and I got a puzzle piece here. Van Snyder. Andy Hawkins, Dante Bichette.
Hey,
yeah,
Papa Bear.
Yeah, Ernest Riles, Adam Peterson, Kevin Brown, Terry Clark, Checklist, Steve Martinez, Ernie Witt, Toronto Blue Jays.
It's pronounced Whit.
Witt. Ricky Horton, Dennis Lamp. No Griffey. What do you boys got? Anything of note? You're awfully silent. Have you cracked a big one here?
I just opened mine.
Any Jays?
A little backwards.
You have a Dodger.
Zach's messing with this mic. Okay.
What do we got? Names.
Brandon Lowe. Louis Garcia. Robbie Ray. Michael Taylor. Seattle Mariners. Oh, look at this. Just a team.
Eloy Jimenez.
Yeah, that's yours, buddy.
Eloy.
Ian Anderson. Nick Gordon. Taylor Hearn.
Alec Boyne.
Oh.
Boyne.
Hank Aaron.
Oh, Blake Snell.
Oh, that's nice.
Got a Blake Snell.
I once lanced a Boyne.
Well, you have to.
Blake Snell from the Rays. Eh? Yeah. You got a Hank Aaron?
Yeah.
So what?
Don't know the deal there.
Slab it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Does it have any number on the back, like a one of or something of something?
Nope, nothing like that.
No Blue Jays in your deck?
Dylan Cease.
No Jays.
No Jays.
I got Chris Paddock. And finish it off with... I have no idea how to say that name. So I'm not gonna.
Marcus Semien, Athletics.
Oh, there you go.
Semien.
Oh, you got an auto. Alec Bomb. Eloy Jimenez. Yeah, okay, so these are nice cards. Get them today. A variety
cool.
of baseball cards down at Wayne's, once again, right next to the Italian Center, north of West Edmonton Mall. And make sure November 14 and 15, that's a Friday and a Saturday, they'll have their grand opening party. And a real cool thing that Wayne's doing down there, but you'll have to go down and see it for yourself. It's going to be I can't say anymore because I don't want to give it away because that's normally what I do in these situations. I also wanted to make mention as well, Mandy and Natalie last night at Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge gifted me with this.
Look at that.
This isn't the binder that we've been using in-house, though. They brought their own binder, and what they did was they bought an entire box from Tim Hortons. And I thought we've checked off quite a bit. They're pretty much almost done. I know it's glaring up there, but whatever. You get the point. I cried, and then when I dried my tears of happiness, I thanked them very much. It was very generous of the two of you, so thank you, ladies. So it's going to go a long way into assisting our, a little puzzle piece there from that deck of cards. So thank you very much, Mandy and Natalie. That was great. Yeah, we only probably need like 5 more cards to complete the set now. We didn't really. Van Snyder.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. 7:01, we'll get to a sports update here. Chris Johnston, TSN and The Athletic, will join us. We'll go around the ice, specifically touch on last night's game, Habs and Oilers, set up the road trip to come this weekend, and more from around the NHL. He'll be joining us 7:05. First, a sports update, though, brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Whether you're dreaming of crystal clear waters or exotic destinations, contact Chelsea LaBelle at Expedia Cruises in Northeast Edmonton to start planning your next cruise or vacation destination. Call 780-970-4834. If you want to join us in Mexico in February, give that number a call. Trev's got more on that coming up. Sports update. Lieutenant Eric Wil Fraser and for Dustin Nielson. This is the Nielson Show presented by Weiss Johnston on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta.
What a game it was last night as the Edmonton Oilers hold on to defeat the Montreal Canadiens 6-5 in what was their second win in a row. The Oilers hit the road once again next game in Seattle to take on the Kraken. Puck drop goes tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Elsewhere in hockey last night, the Preds double up on the Canucks 2-1. The Jets shut out the Kraken 3-0, and the Senators get by the Flyers 2-1. Just 4 games on the NHL slate tonight. The Sabres welcome in the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Sharks take on the Devils. Washington takes a trip to Columbus to face the Blue Jackets, capped off with an all-Canadian matchup between the Flames and Jets. NFL Week 8 kicked off last night that saw the Chargers pummel the Vikings. 37-10 is the score. Justin Herbert went 18 for 25, completing 227 yards and 3 touchdowns in the victory, which sees the Chargers improve to 5-3, and the Vikings fall to 3-4. Week 8 action continues on Sunday. 2 games in the CFL tonight, starting with the Red Blacks taking on the Ticats in Hamilton. Then later on, it's the final game of the season for the Edmonton Elks as they welcome in the Calgary Stampeders. This one gets underway at 7:30 with Dustin Nielson on the call. Be sure to tune in to the Green and Gold Kickoff Show with Maddie and Milne for the final pre and post of the year. Coverage begins at 6:30. And in the majors, Canada's team, the Toronto Blue Jays, are set to play in their first World Series game in over 30 years when they welcome in the Dodgers. Trey Savage gets the start for the Jays, while the Dodgers counter with Blake Snell. First pitch at 6 o'clock. And last night in the NBA, just 2 games that saw the Thunder edge the Pacers 141-135, and the Warriors defeat the Nuggets 137-131. 12 games in the association tonight, including the Raptors taking on the Bucks for their home opener. Tip-off for this one at 4:30. And back to hockey, the Golden Bears welcome in the Calgary Dinos for the first half of a home and away. Puck drop at 7 at Claire Drake Arena. Whether you're dreaming of crystal clear waters or exotic destinations, contact Chelsea LaBelle at Expedia Cruises in Northeast Edmonton to start planning your next cruise or vacation destination. Call 780-970-4834. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in on TuneIn, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind? 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Dusty and Eric and all of the bad cats like Brzezinski and Noodles. Gadget can gauge it. Go to Play Alberta and make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday Mandate. Shaggy's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number one in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We want to hear some hot takes and we want to hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I want to kiss away? Beat us to tie a fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about what's his name? Macramella, Rapaport, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin in the tales of the north. All the fucking give him present. Does he go on? What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. When there's nothing song, but what about what's his name? Macramella, Rapaport, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin in the tales of the north. All the fucking give him present. Does he go on? What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielson Show flu.
What say you? Nasties, Friday morning, good morning to you. It's the Nielson Show heading into the weekend, presented by, on EST, presented by Play Alberta. We'll have your Play Alberta Early Bird Special of the day coming up, let you know the codes for the month, how you can get your free bet, and all of those things. The Nielson Show, as always, though, presented by Weiss Johnston, Edmonton's train home comfort specialist for nearly 50 years. You can get that 10% off any new furnace, AC, or heat pump right now till the end of the month. Bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump, you get 25% off the package price. Visit WJSportsTalk.com today for more details. Back on 95.7 Cruise FM as well, the iHeart TuneIn radio app, of course, YouTube chugging along, the nasty chats humming. Give us a like. We are very, very close to changing 100, 8 away. We're on 92, which is almost fitting for this morning, which is a good look to see there, given last night's Oiler game and win over the Habs, which we'll get to here. Lieutenant Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielson. He'll have the call tonight. Elks ticking on the stamps. Join us as well. YouTube Trev will be down there at the tailgate. I'll be coming down. You boys having a moment here?
Well, no, I'm just I can get defensive of you sometimes.
You don't need to.
I know I don't need to. No one needs to, like, you're not baby being kept in the corner. No one needs to stick up for you.
I've grown up.
But I feel like Chris is trolling you right now. I think he's just looking down and working, but it's just his Blue Jays.
Oh, yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah.
So I'm just a little defensive on your behalf, and I shouldn't be, but that's just the way that I am sometimes.
We'll get to Chris Johnston right now. He is our hockey insider and analyst for GS Construction. They're hiring now. They're looking for experienced pipe layers, operators, topmen, and superintendents. Visit gsconstruction.ca. GS Construction, serving your community for over 50 years, and we bring him in right now. It was a great positioning, great framing on his part.
Yeah.
But Chris, I want to know, how long did you wait in the queue? How much did you have to pay, and where will you be sitting tonight?
I'm not going tonight, but I'm going tomorrow to the game.
Good.
Okay.
So I did have to wait. It was I got part of like a pre-sale thing. Anyway, I didn't have to wait that long in the queue. I got tickets. I paid face value, which is lucky to say if you've seen any grumbling online.
Yeah.
But I'll be there. I'll be there tonight. And if we get to Game 7, I'll be at Game 7.
Okay, perfect. So not tonight, but tomorrow, and then Game 7?
Yeah, sorry. Game 2 and Game 7.
Okay, perfect.
Wow.
That's something, man. And I mean, I don't know. I think the day of Game 7, Dustin and I were sitting here, we're like, may the best team win, but we're going to get pummeled by the Dodgers and win 4 straight. Right. After that night, though, and the fairy tale way which that happened, the confidence seems to kind of be growing and growing and growing. Would you not agree as a Jays fan? Is that kind of the vibe down there?
Yeah, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Look, I've talked myself fully into, an underdog World Series win. And look, we might watch tonight's game and it might be a dose reality. I mean, we'll see what happens. But, the one thing I will say, the Mariners had good pitching staff and the Jays were able to hit them. They scored a lot of runs against the Yankees. Obviously the Dodgers are strong everywhere. I guess that's why they're the team they are. But they, I could talk myself into a world where the Jays keep, limiting the strikeouts in a game, rolling the lineup around and scoring some runs and finding a way. But, either way, I will say this honestly, the fact that I got this far, that I had the memories of being at that Game 7 at the LCS. I mean, it is all gravy now. I'd love to see them win, but if they don't, it was a great season either way.
What was your vantage point for that Springer dinger?
I mean, I was in like the person's armpit who I don't even know next to me, I think. I mean, it was like literally strangers hugging in the stands kind of moment was like the exact vibe in the stadium. It was nuts. I've been to a lot of great sporting events, obviously through my job, being the Olympics, the Cup finals and everything. But that was right up near the top for just energy in the building. Bit of a surprise, right? The Jays didn't play that well, I would say, in Game 7, or they weren't doing what they do best in that game, but they found a way. And that moment, I think that's what makes baseball unique. It goes so slow, and then you get those moments, right? And that was one those of us that were there will never forget.
Chris Johnston joining us, TSN and The Athletic. Speaking of moments and atmosphere last night, a wild one, a bit of a throwback, if you will, maybe 6-5, your final Oilers, down, up. Just a very fun game when you got two Canadian teams. Whenever the Canadiens or the Leafs come through here, I mean, obviously it's a bit of a mix in jerseys, so that adds to the atmosphere, I guess. But in terms of moments, and one Martin St. Louis was pretty vocal about last night midway through that third. Your thoughts on last night's events, and what are you pulling from that one?
Well, I'm certainly not going to critique a win. I mean, I think that obviously with the road trip the Oilers had, and I know they finished it off in Ottawa with a win, but they got to get some points in the bank and get feeling good. And I think a win like last night's game goes a long way towards that. Sometimes you'd love to win it 3-0 and have a perfect defensive outing, but I think honestly going behind and coming back and the sorts of those things can help build sort of the team spirit back up. And so, man, looked like a really fun game. I'm with you. I love when the building gets at least a little bit split. I just think it adds to it. Obviously, the teams from the East and vice versa only get through the West once a season, the way the schedule works. So, the Canadiens, I think, are one of the, to me, like they came in with some hype, obviously, this season, making the playoffs last year. But I really do think that they're a fun, exciting group, and that's the other part of this. Is Edmonton beat a good team, and they had to dig deep to do it, and to do it in regulation, I'm sure felt a little bit better with that late puck goals and goal.
Are they cutting their nose off when it comes to the officiating a little bit? I mean, watching that game last night, the tripping call did feel borderline. I can understand why they were upset, but then to take that game misconduct and put yourself in a hole that way, that seemed unforgivable to me. But then to hear their head coach continue with the complaining about the refereeing after the game makes me wonder, is this an organizational problem? Is this a team that has not figured out that they need to shut up when it comes to the referees?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's an emotional game. It's funny, if we had this discussion yesterday morning, like I don't think of the Habs that way. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't have that reputation, at least not that I'm aware of. But I'm with you. It was a little too much. I watched this morning, even Brendan Gallagher had a scrum, post game where he was kind of going in on it. And the emotions of the game are what I love, but I'm with you. Like I don't see a lot of upside in kind of carrying on in that manner. Just because hockey is the world's smallest town. Everyone knows each other. Yeah. If you act in a certain way, it gets around. There's not a lot of upside, generally speaking, especially this early in the season, I think, to get that fired up. But, it's a 6-5 game. It's a great building. I mean, I guess I'm inclined to cut them a little bit of slack because I don't see it as like an issue that we see, every week that this is a thing going on. But I do think they got discombobulated by the whole thing. And, if you're in Montreal's, if you're having a meeting today and you're in that team, I just think they have to recognize, some things are going to go against you in a game, and you might want to handle it maybe a little smoother than they did.
We talked about the Oilers too before you joined us, Chris, and how, they may at one point were in the Habs kind of shoes with a young team and kind of finding their way in terms of rep with it. They're here now. You get a gift. You don't take it back. I mean, you take full advantage of it. That's what they did. You get the win. But again, we're going to go into this a bit of a tough game from them, if you say from those power plays. But I'll give you a little chance here to stump for one Jake Wallman, who's been fantastic. We talked, last year you acquire him at the deadline. You maybe don't see the full package of what you got and the full Jake Wallman experience. Missed a few to start the season, but the overtime winner the other night in Ottawa, he's play and for Nurse and Bouchard, who again defensively maybe leave you wanting a bit more. He's certainly showing up and giving. What would you say to Oilers fans in terms of what you can expect from a full campaign and hopefully an injury-free one for Jake Wallman here?
Well, I see him as a guy who's really found his place, right? Like he bounced around the league a little bit, even being in St. Louis at the very beginning, but obviously Detroit and San Jose. And, I think you saw glimpses of it in the playoffs last year, certainly enough where you felt good about the trade and obviously where management got to the point where they signed him to that extension right before the season. And, my thoughts now are like, thank goodness they did, because what would our discussion point be? If he wasn't signed and he was maybe, a pending UFA and having this kind of impact on this team, there'd be a lot of focus on those things. And so, he obviously gets the puck up the ice, and when you have the kind of forwards the Oilers do, that's a positive thing. He can chip in with some offense himself. And I see a steady player who, took a little bit of time to find his footing in the league, but, the Oilers are getting the best of him now. They've just bought his best years ahead with that long-term contract. And I think he's in the moment. He was a really good addition, because the truth is as we get toward the trade deadline for all good teams, generally speaking, it's the teams at the bottom of the standings that are kind of trading away their loose parts at the deadline. Like you're not choosing between the best of the best. And I think, we should commend the front office for finding Wallman, because that wasn't an obvious trade at the time, but man, it looks good when you see how things are lining up now.
Speaking of trading away spare parts, what are you hearing out of Calgary? Is the fire sale about to begin?
I don't think just yet, but look, we sort of got a feel for where it's going. I think that they want to give it a little bit more runway to see, if they can. Frankly, they got to score some goals, right, to win games. That's been no secret the biggest issue for the Flames to start this year. But look, I see they had a pretty nice run last season. Like they almost got into the playoffs, went down to a tiebreaker the last weekend of the season. But even despite that, I think management was pretty realistic about where they were. We didn't see them, for example, sign Rasmus Andersson to a big deal, because, they know that all things being equal, he's likely someone that'll be in play as the season goes along. I don't know how deep the cuts will go. I don't think the Flames know just yet in terms of other players that could be moved, but certainly if this is a year where they end up, staying in the basement, if they don't have some kind of bounce back kick in short order, then, we're probably talking about them conducting that fire sale. But, the word right now, I think, is they're going to be a little bit patient, try to give the team more time, but time's not on your side in the league when you've won one game to start the season and you're this far down your schedule and you're not scoring. I think that the bigger picture is where they're at in Calgary. That they're not looking to be in last place, but I think they understand that they need more to lift that team up as they move into a new building here down the road. So it's a long way of saying fire sale's not up yet, but stay tuned, because I think it could come.
13 goals through 8 games. I do get the sense this is Edmonton here, beginning of September, and you see those Spirit of Halloween signs popping up on roadsides and meridians. Like that's maybe kind of where we're at in terms of a timeline. And certainly in this market, we have a wry smile for that. One last one here for you, Chris. Chris Knobloch speaking post-game yesterday. And Oiler fans, celebrating the win, but also celebrating the fact that he says the team will be going at the lines they finished the game with moving forward, and that is a spine of McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, and then Philp centering the fourth. Howard on the top, Savoy on the second. Oilers fans finally getting their wish. I'm sure we're still early on the season. Things will change, but this will certainly make Oiler fan happy. Is this kind of where you were leaning as well, or just waiting to see, like, can you justify Knoblauch going through they showed it last night on the broadcast, all of the combinations that he's went through such an early stage, but he's kind of just figuring out what he's got and throwing things up against the wall at this point.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're bringing some new wingers into the program this year, and so that's a dynamic, right? You're just trying to figure out who fits with whom and what the best look is there. And I do think it's such a blessing to have 97 and 29, but it's a curse too, right? Because, at times I can understand, especially in games where you need a goal, why it's so tempting to put them out together. But that might get you a short-term burst, but it might actually in the long run have, some effects on the rest of the lineup. Obviously, it just means certain players aren't going to play as much, not used in certain ways. So I do understand why Chris gets back to the point where ideally you probably have them separated, you spread the wingers around, and you give everybody a chance to contribute offensively. You go for that more balanced look. But, there's going to be a game at some point. They're going to be down 3-1 in the third period again, or what have you, and maybe be on the road or whatever it is. Situationally, I still think they're going to go back to it, and they probably end up with more juggled lines than most teams in the league just because they have those two gravitational forces. And sometimes you want to put them together, even though that there's a price to be paid, I think, for the support players in the forward group.
Chris, thank you for your time. Good luck tonight. Best of luck tomorrow. I'll be looking out for you on the broadcast, and soak this one up, baby. Let the juices run down your face. It should be a good, great series here.
Thank you very much. And I was not rubbing it in. I have to say, I don't run like that. But I'm showing my pride because obviously I'm pretty excited.
As you should.
Say hi to Geddy Lee for us.
I can't get Geddy's tickets.
Or that big muscular man too that sits behind the back. So that guy's jacked. Yeah. Chris Johnston, thanks so much, man. Good luck. There you have it, our Hockey Insider analyst. Once again, brought to you by GS Construction. They are hiring now. You can go to gsconstruction.ca. They're looking for experienced pipe layers, operators, top men, and superintendents serving your community for over 50 years. And into the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Amos Moses says, morning, excited for there to be some consistency with the Oilers lines, but they've been swapped around so much, I can't even keep track of how the lines ended up last night. But that's what you'll see going into Saturday night, in which a Big Rig Butcher points out as well in the Paris Jewelers inbox. The Jets last night shut out by the Kraken. Joey Decord, 32-save shutout of the Winnipeg Jets, as YouTube Trev lets out a loud sigh. It doesn't get any easier. I mean, Seattle's not this isn't your daddy's Kraken. Hey, they've grown up too. Like,
that's good.
They shouldn't scare you, but I mean, they're not a easy out. No, by any means.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like they're still figuring out like what they are. It's weird because 2 years ago no one expected them.
They need to be something.
They need to be. Right? They need to be. Yeah, absolutely.
There's a group of teams that right now are having the Octobers they need to be having because they can't have another season of irrelevance. It starts to affect their bottom line. And I would put Seattle near that top of the list where it's kind of like, yeah, you had the new stadium, you had the hype about professional sport coming back to Seattle, but at a certain point you need to put up or shut up. And so it is nice to see Seattle finally starting to look like a consistently competitive hockey team.
Yeah. A lot of role guys they have on that team. And, they look to Matty Beniers, they look to Shane Wright, and I think, they're trending in the right direction. Well, if you're a Kraken fan, maybe not as much for Matty Beniers because he did win the Calder a few years ago. He took a step back last year. But, Shane Wright, I think, has looked pretty good. And they got some pieces. They do. Like, this isn't, they made some acquisitions over the summer. They're not an easy out, and, like, they buy in. They do buy in. Like, it's a good team. They really are. So, yeah, it'll be a good one. Can't wait.
Penner's Pancakes in the Nasty Chat. Once again, if you are watching on YouTube, we are changing 100 here, which is very nice on a Friday morning.
Changing 100.
Love it. Penner's Pancake says, I do legit think the Oilers sweep the weekend against the Kraken and Canucks.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call you crazy for thinking that at all, but...
they have seemed to have Vancouver's number over the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the one team that you can kind of put in the palm of your hand and kind of toy around with, if you will. Yeah, and also he shouts out, we had this game on as well last night at Sully Sports Bar and Lounge with the entire TV wall, of course, the football taking precedence as well as the Oilers game. But, and Any other day I would have used this for, that's good for the Italian Center coming up at 7:30. But did you watch the Hartford, Quebec City game last night?
Nope, couldn't care. Come on. I honestly thought it was in such bad taste. I
do get where you're coming from, but
it's not like those towns have gotten over it.
I know.
And so to have those franchises then cosplay in front of them, I honestly, if I was a Nordiques fan, I would want no part of it.
Even on the score bug, it was Hartford and Quebec.
Yeah.
You could call them Carolina and Colorado.
I get for the casual sports fan, they're that's kind of interesting.
Looks cool, yeah.
But being in a city like this where the team was almost ripped away from us, and then to see those towns, which are good hockey towns, right? Quebec City, deep history.
It's not their fault.
Hartford, deep hockey history. Yeah. And especially, I know it hurts for Nordiques fans because they left just as they were about to become contenders. But they left to a city that actually has some sort of hockey history to it.
Sure.
Especially at the university level.
Yeah.
But the Carolina part for me, if I'm a Hartford fan, I'm throwing up in my mouth.
If the Tampa Bay Rays said, hey, for 8 games next year, we're going to be wearing Montreal Expos jerseys and caps.
Yeah.
And we're going to call ourselves Montreal.
Yeah.
I do understand what you're saying. But from our point of view, and in this market,
right, we're not.
I couldn't care any less.
Yeah.
And it looked so damn cool.
Yeah.
That Quebec Nordique jersey.
Well, it looked cool because it was 2 traditional hockey teams.
But you've never seen these jerseys as well with the high res, high visibility that we have now. And that Whalers, I will take the white Whalers over the green just because the white on the green pops a lot more. And those 2 on the ice, but I do understand where you're coming from there. And we pour one out for the citizens of Hartford and
Quebec
to this
City. Day, it makes no sense that the Hurricanes are in Carolina and not in Hartford. Honestly, you can't make an economic case for it.
No. I'm sure the NHL could try or will try or some sort of
if they
pull out
had
a graph or a pie chart.
If they had a half decent NHL arena, and they kind of do in Hartford, that's a hockey it's crazy to me that there is as many teams south of the quote unquote Mason-Dixon line. And that Hartford is still sitting there vacant.
Casino Dealer Jay says the game probably should have been played in one of those cities. Yeah, that would have been a nice touch. Yeah, but then you'd have the flirtation of, we could make this work again, and the NHL doesn't want to go there.
Well, listen, I understand why they are petrified of going back to Quebec City, because that is a town that is hot and cold, and it's not a wealthy place. They've learned from Winnipeg that even though the good vibes will be there, this is not going to be a team that makes a ton of money for your league. And so because the Jets are back in Winnipeg, I can't see them ever going back to Quebec City. Yeah. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
But the Hartford thing, what are you doing?
Your boy Barron says the jerseys are stolen valor, but neither franchise had the success till after they moved.
Stolen valor. That's exactly what it is.
Stolen valor is the term. And an unsigned text corrects me. Rays were never the Expos, so that makes 0 cents.
True.
That's true. The Nationals. Yeah. I misspoke there. I always get confused with the Tampa Bay. Again, I use the word flirtation of them moving back to Montreal, but yes, the Nationals. So the Nationals wearing Expo. You get my point. I misspoke.
It's 5 years from now when the Nationals play in Las Vegas and they're wearing Expos and Oakland A's jerseys.
Yeah. We're gonna see that.
We will see that.
There's money to be made. Big Slam Nasty says Fraser sees his girlfriend from the 8th grade get married and says he still hasn't gotten over it. In which
that's totally what it is.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially if she's still marrying. A piece of garbage.
Let's get in your Play Alberta early bird of the day. PlayAlberta.ca. Those codes, once again, month's almost over, so get in on this. And maybe you want to, make the World Series. If you need more excitement for tonight's Game 1 between the Jays and Dodgers, head over to PlayAlberta.ca or download the app. Make it easy for yourself. EST50, EST Sports, EST Casino for a $50 free bet. I know Jay's got his Jays play of the day. Jays to win the World Series, plus 200 right now. why not throw a $5 on there and see what happens? Use your game sense as well. Go to playalberta.ca, hit the sports tab at the top, EST specials on the left-hand side. And getting into the game tonight, Jays on the money line, plus 131. They're plus 101.5 on the spread as well, but should remind you as well at this time to use your game sense. Hour 2 of the Nielson Show. When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed. Visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense. So ride with Jay. He's been hot. Jay's play of the day once again. Jays to win the World Series outright, boosted to plus 200. Get on that right now. I will be on the lock shop later today as well. So myself, Andrew Huffler-Patterson of WST, Winnipeg Sports Talk, and probably be joined by Dusty. He likes to pop in when he's on the road. Hey, him and Huss can go over the NFL slate. Probably a lot baseball heavy today as well.
Oh, yeah, that's going to happen.
Yeah, so we'll have a good time on the lock shop today. Once again, that is 11 to noon right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. If you are listening, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio app, The Source, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, or watching on YouTube right now, as we just changed 100. Let's get that 200 mark as well before the hour's up. We'll be joined by Mike Garafolo, NFL analyst, to close out the hour later on. Coming up next, that's good for the Italian Center.
That's good.
We've already talked about last night's jerseys. We will take a dive into the Jays-Dodgers series here coming up next. Right now, a sports update for the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where he too.
We also need to find time to talk about
stud farming.
Yeah. What's been going on off the air?
Talk about getting over your 8th grade girlfriend. You have not gotten over this, and I don't think you ever will.
No,
with young YouTube Trev here.
God bless Trev.
Trev's got a sports update here for the fine folks at Park Mazda. That's good. The Italian Center coming up.
That's good.
Nielson Show presented by Weiss Johnston. EST presented by Play Alberta.
What a game it was last night as the Edmonton Oilers held on to defeat the Montreal Canadiens 6-5 for their second straight win. The Oilers now hit the road once again, heading to Seattle to take on the Kraken. Puck drop set for 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Around the NHL last night, the Predators doubled up on the Canucks 2-1. The Kraken blanked the Jets 3-0. And the Senators get past the Flyers 2-1. Just 4 games on the NHL schedule tonight. The Sabres host the Maple Leafs. The Sharks face off with the Devils. The Capitals visit Columbus to battle the Blue Jackets, and it all wraps up with an all-Canadian tilt between the Flames and Jets. In the NFL, Week 8 kicked off last night with the Chargers rolling past the Vikings 37-10. Justin Herbert went 18 for 25 for 227 yards and 3 touchdowns. Los Angeles improves to 5-3, while Minnesota drops to 3-4. Week 8 action continues on Sunday. In the CFL, a pair of games on tap tonight. The Red Blacks visit the Ticats in Hamilton. Then later, it's the final game of the season for the Edmonton Elks as they host the Calgary Stampeders with Dustin Nielson on the call. Kickoff at 7:30. Don't miss the Green and Gold Kickoff Show with Maddie and Milne starting at 6:30 for the final pre- and post-game coverage of the year. For the first time in 30 years, Canada's team, the Toronto Blue Jays, are set to play in the World Series. They welcome in the Los Angeles Dodgers for Game 1 tonight. Trey Savage gets the start for Toronto, while the Dodgers counter with Blake Snell. First pitch at 6 o'clock. And in the NBA, just 2 games last night. The Thunder edged the Pacers 141-135, and the Warriors outlasted the Nuggets 137-131. A busy night ahead of the association with 12 games on the schedule, including the Toronto Raptors hosting the Milwaukee Bucks for their home opener. Tip-off at 4:30. And finally, back to hockey. The Golden Bears open a home and away set against the Calgary Dinos tonight at Claire Drake Arena. Puck drop at 7 o'clock. This sports update is brought to you by the fine folks at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki. Mitch puts the STD in stud. All he needs is you.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button. Thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki with like a giant eagle's wings and singing lead vocals for Leonard Skinner with like an angel band. And I'm in the crowd hammered drunk.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
tulo kwata omwana abo tumukwate ng'oli musezi sebubira njagala gendako ku mazina nzine ku ndongo kwate ku obulamu bwakuleka njagala gendako bweru kancakaleko luliba lumu nga lukubye walumbe mutemu tasaasira tulo kwata omwana tumukwate ng'oli mulogo sebubira tulo kwata omwana tumukwate ng'oli musezi sebubira njagala gendako ku mazina nsine ku ndongo kyuse ku obulamu bwakuleka njagala gendako bweru kancakaleko luliba lubalumbe walumbe mutemu tasaasira.
Let's take it back again. Everybody now. Thought he's going for the chorus, but bam, another verse comes in there. Yeah.
The bridge.
Yes, of course. That's Philly Lutea. You can check him out on YouTube with the Too Low, of course, the original track to the Troy Tulowitzki home run song.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Good memories from that, and trying to put some good vibes into today's Game 1. Jays Dodgers, of course, from Toronto. Treya Savage, Blake Snell dueling it on the mound. Lieutenant Eric Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielson. He'll have the call tonight. Elk Stamps, in which I do believe they'll be having the Jays game on there as well. You can't go anywhere right now without the people having weddings this weekend. I know a few people getting married.
Really?
They're debating that during the mom coming up and giving her speech, that Vladdy will be up at the plate and nobody will care about her.
Sure.
And so that it's one of those moments that whatever you're doing this weekend, especially, Jays game will probably be taking precedence wherever. But you can join YouTube, Trev. You'll be at the tailgate tonight. I'll waddle down there myself, taking part in the final tailgate of the season.
Nice.
And Dustin Nielson will have the call. TSN tonight, 7:30 kickoff. So if you want to come out and join us, feel free. If not, good luck in wherever you're digesting tonight's Jays-Dodgers game. The Nielson Show presented by Weiss Johnson, and of course EST presented by Play Alberta. You can get up there once again and get the Jays Play of the Day. Jays winning the World Series boosted to plus 200. Right now, that's good.
That's good.
For the Italian Center shop, if you are having people over tonight, you want to have a bit of a party platter, shall we say, pick up some hot and spices, cut them up very thin. It's great. Or you can just check out those Massimo hot and serve meals made fresh daily. The pastas, it's also good. Maybe even get a tray of deli meats, cheeses, olives, that sort of thing, and just go to town tonight. But
I also want to know if anyone legitimately knows, a diehard Jays fan who is also addicted to gambling, who actually put money at the beginning of the year on the Jays World Series.
Well, Dustin Nielson, everybody was saying, oh, Atkins this, Shapiro that. He believed since day one.
Did he? So much so that he put money on it?
Well, I don't know the amount.
So the figure that I saw earlier in the week was...
Did somebody do one of these?
No, but like that, if you...
Yes.
It was 6,000 to 1.
Yes.
At the beginning of the season.
Delicious.
Like if you'd put a $10 bet, you are watching...
Was this to win the World Series or
to win the World Series. You'd put a $10 bet on the Jays at the beginning of the year. You are sitting there watching this World Series with $60,000 on the line.
I just cash out.
Well, you can't you can't, right? Like... Can you now? Sometimes they say like you're playing with house money. That's house money. Like that is
60,000. Would you live in West Edmonton Mall for a year for $60,000? We had that question yesterday. Maybe we'll get to that. 3 questions too many again today and revisit that. But again, if you are betting on the Jays and Dodgers, use your Game Sense Hour 2 of the Nielson Show. When gambling, set a budget before you play. GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your Game Sense. But that's good. Jays Dodgers tonight. Trev, you'll be down at the tailgate. You will then be flocking off to...
I'm going to my bar.
BP's Kingsway.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So join YouTube, Trev, there if you want. Share what you're doing. 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat. We were talking.
So do you just take 111th all the way home then? Is that your route?
That's the
You
place.
just take it straight?
Yes.
Yeah.
112th, 111th, it kind of meanders.
The sights, the smells, the sounds.
Well, we called that area, the Commonwealth Stadium area, the Twilight Zone when I was a young guy. And it still is. It's still...
What do you mean by that?
Once the sun goes down.
Yeah, like you don't want to have car trouble in that area.
Really? It's not.
Listen,
I scooter there all
as
summer
is
long.
the truth with most areas of the city, it has gotten better.
Yeah.
Since when I was a young guy, but like when I was a young guy,
That was the area.
that was not the area you wanted to have a problem.
We were talking about who throws out the first pitch tonight.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about who throws out the first pitch in Game 7, and it was Marco Estrada, which I found kind of,
That was
whatever.
Underwhelming.
A little especially when you had, like, who was it the night before there?
It was not Joey
Or the game
Bats?
before.
It's not Joey Bats?
Yeah, because it was his birthday.
Let me counterpoint.
He threw in a Hummer.
Let me counterpoint the Marco Estrada thing.
Sure.
Marco Estrada, there is a certain synergy between this current Jays team and Marco Estrada. If you remember that one season that Marco Estrada had that no one saw coming, sort of that underdog, like how is he picking up the wins that he was? Like there is a certain synergy there where like he overachieved from what people thought he should be capable of. So there let me give a little defense of Marco Estrada.
Sure, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. But who do you think should throw it tonight? Again, I need some Gibby. I need Gibby coming out there. I need him a little, already fifth inning Gibby, if you will.
Okay.
Kind of in the mix already.
Sure.
The pop you would get from that crowd would just be spectacular. But have your say. 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat. Tank Villain 7619 says Cito. Casino Dealer Jay says it has to be Cito Gaston or Joe to hype everyone up. Mitch Williams.
Wild thing.
Falling off the mound. Like really orchestrating that. Hey, why not? I'd take a little of that as well. I don't know if you'd agree to it, but nonetheless. But what about you? Like, plans for, like, are you just going to go home and soak your feet and turn it on? Or do you have some sort of big watch party that bringing the TV outside?
Honestly,
with
it's
space heaters.
It's immunization day at the old Fraser household. So
Okay.
it's go and get some shots and then feel not great for the evening. Like we'll probably just.
This is like Marco Estrada throwing out first pitch Game 7. I would have thought, okay, well, to each their own. Okay, that's fine.
Listen, we didn't plan, like, it would be great for
Nobody
Game
saw
1
it
of the
coming.
World Series.
Nobody, you couldn't really plan too far ahead with this one. Of course, we didn't know, but that's okay.
But yeah, we know that we won't be in a partying mood. My arm's sore.
Strummy also, and a few other people suggested this too, but Robert Herjavec or Herjavec from the Dragon's Den, when the Ohtani rumors were circulating, and there was that Ohtani plane that people were tracking, and he stepped off of it.
Yeah.
If he were to come out and throw at the first pitch, I think that would be very delicious.
Out of left field, I say they go complete heel and troll all of Toronto. Mitch Marner.
In a Golden Knights jersey.
Golden Knights jersey.
Welcome back, the prodigal son, Mitchell Marner.
They just do it before the Dodgers can do it in Game 3.
Yeah. Maybe a little Drake, eh?
That's a curse right there. You want to steer clear from Drake.
He can't be allowed anywhere near the facility, can he?
No.
Isn't he an LA fan though too? Like, he's a fan of every sports team, I guess. But
yeah,
but he has some sort of Dodgers.
He's a fan of whatever team he's put $300,000 on.
I know.
I think he has a problem.
That's the type of thing. But there is a bit of a beef here, Drake, right? And Kendrick, isn't he is he an LA guy? Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah, I think so.
So you can maybe see some sort of a.
Maybe it is Drake then. Nah, I doubt it. There
would be no way. I could see Toronto doing that, not failing to get out of its own way.
Because they're just,
Because
that's such a Toronto
You know
thing
what I'm
to do.
saying? Vladdy wearing the Matthews jersey, like, that's great and all, but the underlying...
Toronto, or Drake walks out with Matthews together.
And Marner. All three of them. They can all throw the first pitch together like you do.
That'd be tough.
Oh, boy. So your thoughts, who do you think should throw up the first pitch tonight? 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat as well. Let's talk a little football. Week 8 in the NFL kicking off last night. Wasn't really a memorable affair if you're a Vikings fan, but certainly Chargers, we're talking uniforms earlier. Love the navy blue there. That's a good look for them, I think, taking it back a bit. But we'll get into the Thursday nighter and the Week 8 slate ahead. It is Mike Garafolo, NFL Network. He joins us every Friday at around this time. Get your Mobile One oil change at Gerard Tirecraft, 9845 41st Avenue. Proven protection for every drive you have. Mobile One oil change. Once again, that's Gerard Tirecraft, 9845 41st Avenue. They sponsor the Mike Garafolo NFL Analyst segment. Mike, welcome back to the program, man. Before we get into the football, any beat on the World Series? Are you leaning either way? Are you putting a little a coin here or a coin there? Dodgers, Jays. What do you got? What are you feeling for this one?
Oh, no coins, and certainly not this week with everything that's going on in the NBA. Unfortunately, my coins have to stay. My coins have to stay in the pocket.
No poker dens for you, hey Mike, or anything like that?
Well, poker. Hold on, I got to go back to my training here, my annual NFL gambling training. I believe in the off season, away from when I'm not on business, I can partake in. I can go to a casino on my own, as long as I'm not on league business. So yes, there could be poker. I read the indictment, and it's like chips that can read cards on the table that are being sent to guys remotely that are signaling to guys there on their cell phones. And then he said, wow, like, I don't know. That is super, super involved.
We've come a long way from casino, haven't we?
We've come a long way. Technology, my goodness, infiltrating everything, including poker games.
So let's get into Week 8 here, and of course, last night, Wentz hurt his arm. Herbert was playing. I mean, I was at the Sully Sports Bar and Lounge last night. A darling Viking fan, Fergie's prostate, who listens to us religiously. He was there. He left at halftime. What are you pulling away from last night's game? I rarely find myself believing in the Chargers, like probably even Chargers fans do, but a big statement laid down by them, or just a Vikings team that didn't really show up?
Well, the pivotal point in the game, first of all, Carson Wentz is battling. Carson Wentz is hurt badly. This is not like, he dinged his shoulder. Like, he's got some significant damage going on that he's battling through. And for a guy that has had injury questions and a lot of questions about some other things from his time back in Philly, for him to be out there and trying to battle his way through this, I give him all the credit in the world for what he's doing here. I know he was questioned by Kirk Herbstreit on the broadcast. Quarterbacks show emotion all the time, no more than Tom Brady, who would show emotion all the time when he was frustrated. So I give Carson Wentz the credit. I think the pivotal part of the game was 90 minutes before the game when inactives were announced. And Joe Alt and Trey Pipkins were active for the Chargers. And the Vikings did have Christian Darrisaw, their left tackle, active, but Brian O'Neill was not. And then Darrisaw wind up not even playing the full game. The difference in the Chargers team with and it makes you think, like, if they hadn't lost Rashawn Slater, their left tackle, in training camp, and had him on the left side and Joel Alt on the right side, they might damn near be undefeated at this point, because the difference in offensive tackles to them, the guys that they need to protect Justin Herbert and keep that offense intact versus what we had seen previous weeks. And now you kind of go back and you say, boy, give them credit for being on the plus side of 500 at all, given the drop off when they don't have their offensive tackles. I thought that was the biggest thing last night. And they're going to continue to get healthy. At some point, Omarion Hampton is going to come back. Kamani Vidal has been excellent for them in his stead. And, some of these other guys, Khalil Mack coming back. He had been down for 4 games. Yep. They're starting to get healthy. Chargers going to Charger, though. You would imagine there'll be more injuries at some point. But fully healthy, they are definitely a team to be contended with.
The Jets, how bad does it have?
That's the other side.
Yeah, I mean, just your thoughts on the state of the New York Jets right now. I know we also the interview with that young fan who said, I hate them. I have to love them. I was born into this, but it doesn't mean I have to like what's going on currently.
Yeah. Those are all my friends. Not all my friends. Those are all my Jet fan friends. That's how they talk. That's how they live their lives. That's how they operate. I feel badly for them. I don't care who wins games. I don't root. When you're in the business, you can't. It's just damn near impossible. At some point, though, I want my Jet fans to be happy. My Jet fan friends to be happy. Like, it's gotten too far to the other way. Like you're just in the start of a new regime where there's going to be pain. But Ben Johnson Liam Cohen, like at some point you got to have success in your first year here. And I know Woody Johnson expressed his confidence in Aaron Glenn. And if you're asking me now whether Aaron Glenn's going to get another season as head coach of the Jets, I would say yes, but I don't know what's coming over the last 9 games of the season, 10 games of the season, right? They're 0-7. They're not even halfway home. There is talent on that team. I don't like what I'm seeing on social media and hearing from those guys. It doesn't seem like they're in lockstep with what's happening. And when the owner calls out the quarterback, and I know in his mind, from my best guess, he was trying to light a fire, not only under him, but the entire team. That's got to have an effect on that locker room. And Justin Fields is well liked inside that locker room. This is not a guy that, they can't wait to see him get bounced. So it's bad in a lot of ways. It's hard to go 0-17. At some point they'll win a game. I don't know how soon, but man, it is rough there right now.
I need you to take that Jets fan energy and throw some cold water on me because I'm a Bears fan. And I don't want to call it hope. I'll call it lack of shame that I'm feeling right now. Talk me down. Tell me why 4-2 going up against a beatable Baltimore team, why I should still doubt this team.
Well, I don't know how beatable they are. They're starting to get guys back, including Lamar Jackson here. Okay. So, to me, it's the big picture, right? I like a lot of what Ben Johnson is doing. I'll be honest. I had questions about Ben Johnson coming in because I know how intense he is as an offensive coordinator. I know he's a little quirky, and it's like, how does that stuff translate to being a head coach? It's gone really well so far. It's gone really well. And you see the way he interacts. You see the way that he has that intensity, but has sort of curbed it as a head coach because I've seen him on the sideline losing his mind as an offensive coordinator for a team that was doing well, too, in the Detroit Lions. There were times during games where, and of course I know what's going on having seen it, so me watching the game, I have a different perspective. I've seen Jared Goff, as he's getting a call into his helmet, literally go like this, like, relax. But Jared Goff's that flat liner, whereas Caleb Williams, I said, is he going to be able to handle this? So far, so good. I'll just throw in a disclaimer of it's a long season. Yeah. It's a long career when it comes to being a head coach and a quarterback. So there's still a lot more to go. But I do like the way that from week 1, where I saw a little deer in the headlights with Caleb Williams, to now I see a different look and a different feel. That's a positive.
Mike Garafolo, NFL analyst, joining us today on the Nielson Show. Lieutenant Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielson. Trade deadline looms ever closer. Right now, again, taking a step into Week 8 last night, and with the weekend slate still ahead, what are you kind of hearing? What are you expecting in terms of buyers or sellers? Of course, things can change here over the weekend, but where are we at right now with in terms of projected movement?
Well, things have changed already. I mean, I mentioned the Chargers and Kamani Vidal. That was a team that had discussions with teams about potential running backs and knew that they had made it clear that they would potentially still be in the market. The way that he has played in Hampton's absence, I think, has said, man, you know what? I think we're good there. Like, no reason to overextend at this point because he has shown them that he can be a guy that can fill in here. I think you're going to see some edge rushers move. I think you're going to see some offensive linemen move. The Dolphins right now, I know Mike McDaniel push back on this, but it's a reality. It's what we do. We know there's discussions being had. We know there's teams showing interest because there are edge rushers there. So I think the Dolphins are going to wind up moving an edge rusher with teams that need him. Chargers made a move for Odafe Owe. That's part of the conversations that they had for a running back. Wound up trading for Owe. Saw him have a sack last night. Saw the impact that he can have as an edge rusher. You know, it's hard sometimes to trade some of these guys in season and other positions. As an edge rusher, it's not as simple as you line up here, you go there. Like, there's obviously a defensive scheme and all that stuff, but that's a position where a guy can have impact. So I'd expect to see those guys potentially moved here in the next couple of weeks here, and that position being one. A lot of teams need interior offensive line help, and there are some guys. There was was I looking at the other day? Wyatt Teller for the Browns, one of the best guards in the league, is going to be a free agent at the end of the year. The Browns aren't in contention. They've shown a willingness to trade. I haven't heard anything specifically to that, but I know that there's been no talk on a potential contract extension to this point. So I wonder if, like, you start to see those guys, these big pending free agents, being moved more as rentals, sort of like Major League Baseball that we've sort of seen. So we'll see how that goes as we get closer.
I don't know what you lay down in terms of markers for a season and when you start to take kind of things a little more seriously for teams who maybe we wouldn't have taken seriously to start the campaign. But the Colts right now sitting at 6-1. I know the Chiefs still exist, and that's always something to take a look at when it comes to the AFC picture. But I mean, how much are you buying in on the Colts right now with what they've done thus far?
Yeah, I have to at this point. Am I picking them to win the Super Bowl? Probably not. And I said this, there were a couple Eagles teams that I covered closely in the last 6 to 7 years. I mean, the Super Bowl teams, obviously, certainly the one in 2017 where they almost played themselves, the way I like it, they played themselves into their record, meaning they didn't have the toughest schedule. They won a lot of games. They weren't talented. They were a good team, but it almost took them to a next level when they looked up and said, oh, we're 10-1, right? Like you almost look up and it's the Parcells, your record, or you are what your record says you are. And so you start to win these games, and it hadn't been the toughest schedule before last week. And I sort of was knocking them and saying, well, I can't put them there because, but you look around there's no great team in the NFL. Yeah. So you can't sit there and say, well, they haven't played anybody, but they're 6-1. And then they beat the Chargers in LA, and you go, okay, that's the stamp of approval. Obviously, you got to ratchet them up at that point. But I also take a step back and go, I can't sit here and say, like, well, there's no great team, but at the same time, knock them for that. So I'm in. They're running the football extremely well. Daniel Jones is a good quarterback when things are right around him. If you need him to lift people up, if you need him to be Patrick Mahomes in that one Super Bowl where he was getting no protection and like throwing footballs while he was literally horizontal to the ground, that's not Daniel Jones. But right now in the situation that they've got him in, that's the kind of guy that you're going to get. So I give him credit.
How close, and records aside, but are the Patriots to kind of being in that conversation as well? Like, I mean, again, big win against the Bills on the road as well, 4-0 away from home. Time to start taking them seriously as well in the same sense that we are in discussion about the Colts.
To me, it's the race in the division, and I know that people still think that it's Buffalo, and I think it's going to be close to the end. I think it's going to be neck and neck. If the Patriots wind up being a high wild card team, and the Bills wind up winning the division, but they don't do it till week 17, week 18, something like that. That's kind of the path that I see this on. But Mike Vrabel getting this team to the playoffs didn't surprise me. Actually, coming into the season, they did not have a tough schedule. And I said, well, they've got talent. They've got a really good head coach. Wouldn't be surprised if they're knocking on the playoff door or sneaking in at the end. They've actually been ahead of that. And now it's looking like if they don't make the playoffs, it would be a disappointment. So he's done a nice job up there. Josh McDaniels, obviously, Josh McDaniels and Drake May always felt like a really good partnership to me, having worked with, covered Josh McDaniels and having been with Drake May through the draft process. I really got to see his football IQ and football knowledge and leadership. I said, that's going to be a great pairing, and surely has.
Rest of week 8, Chiefs Commanders, your Monday nighter, Packers visiting the Steelers, your Sunday nighter. Some interesting afternoon games as well in the Sunday slate, Cowboys, Broncos. What's jumping out at you? What's Mike Garafolo going to be? I mean, again, you go around, you keep an eye on everything, but what jumps off the page for you in terms of a game to really keep a keen eye on this weekend?
This Giants-Eagles game, and I know it's Eagles heavy favorite, but the way that the Giants played them a couple of weeks ago, and I'm still not, I made a joke the other day where we showed the highlights of the Eagles game against the Vikings, and they came back to us, and I said, and they lived happily ever after, as a joke. Like, no, all those issues are not suddenly like put aside. There's still a lot going on in Philadelphia, so I'll be covering that game. So that's one I'll obviously be watching closely. And then I want to see Rodgers against the Packers. I want to see how much emotion he winds up showing. The game would be 10 times more, not 10 times, but a multiple more interesting if it was in Lambeau, and just seeing him out there, because you saw what that meant to Favre, and you saw the reaction from the fans. I'd be curious what the reaction would be, to be honest with you. But him going up against his former team, I want to see how he handles his emotions in that one.
Love it. Mike Garafolo, stay out of those dens, man. Keep it clean, and appreciate your time. We'll talk next week. Enjoy the game.
You got it, guys. Have a great one.
What a guest. What a great add to the show. Mike Garafolo, your NFL analyst, brought to you by Mobile One. Get your Mobile One oil change at Gerard Tirecraft. You can check them out, 9845 41st Avenue. Proven protection for every drive you have. Just about to exit hour 2, hour 3 on the way. You know how we do on a Friday. It is we've gotten through the business slate of the show. I do believe YouTube Trev exited the studio during that hit with Mike. The beer is here.
The beer has arrived.
The beer is here. We'll be doing Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week for Tool Shed. Yes. And it'll be your next chance at $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. That's coming up midway through the third hour. And we are coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. Should mention, if you are looking for a little food tonight for the big baseball game, check out Popeyes. They got their 3-piece delicious bone-in chicken for just $8. www.popeyeschicken.ca for more info on that. Right now we need a contestant for Kind of Easy Trivia. What are we're at 34. We're trying to get to 35-0 in the 95.7 Cruise FM era. So if you want to hit that nice round juicy number today, text in and say, Trev, I want to play. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999.
9.
That Duolingo has really been serving you well. Hey, you're yeah, very good. He's gotten better. So text in that you want to play trivia. We'll be doing that next for Mr. Mike's. You need 3 out of 5. Very simple. You'll also unlock a Club Beat Loop remix from the Vault. So that's all on the way in hour number 3. But hour number 2 of the Nielson Show brought to you by GameSense. If you are dabbling in the NFL slate this week or the Jays-Dodgers tonight, World Series over the weekend, set a budget before you play. Stay informed. Visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your GameSense. We're almost changing 200 on the YouTube. We'll take a quick break on 95.7 Cruise FM for a sports update here from the one and only YouTube Trev, and that is for Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and the surrounding area since 1993. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course plywood goes to the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc. Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielson, Lieutenant Eric as well. Coming up, hour number 3. It is the Nielson Show presented by Weiss Johnston here on EST, presented by Play Alberta.
What a game it was last night as the Edmonton Oilers held on to defeat the Montreal Canadiens 6-5 for their second straight win. The Oilers now hit the road once again, heading to Seattle to take on the Kraken. Puck drop set for 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Around the NHL last night, the Predators doubled up on the Canucks 2-1. The Kraken blanked the Jets 3-0, and the Senators get past the Flyers 2-1. Just 4 games on the NHL schedule tonight. The Sabres host the Maple Leafs. The Sharks face off with the Devils. The Capitals visit Columbus to battle the Blue Jackets. And it all wraps up with an all-Canadian tilt between the Flames and Jets. In the NFL, Week 8 kicked off last night with the Chargers rolling past the Vikings 37-10. Justin Herbert went 18 for 25 for 227 yards and 3 touchdowns. Los Angeles improves to 5-3, while Minnesota drops to 3-4. Week 8 continues on Sunday. In the CFL, a pair of games on tap tonight. The Red Blacks visit the Ticats in Hamilton. Then later, it's the final game of the season for the Edmonton Elks as they host the Calgary Stampeders with Dustin Nielson on the call. Kickoff at 7:30. Don't miss the Green and Gold kickoff show with Maddie and Milne starting at 6:30 for the final pre- and post-game coverage of the year. For the first time in 30 years, Canada's team, the Toronto Blue Jays, are set to play in the World Series. They welcome in the Los Angeles Dodgers for Game 1 tonight. Trey Savage gets the start for Toronto while the Dodgers counter with Blake Snell. First pitch at 6 o'clock. In the NBA, just 2 games last night. The Thunder edged the Pacers 141-135, and the Warriors outlasted the Nuggets 137-131. A busy night ahead of the association with 12 games on schedule, including the Toronto Raptors hosting the Milwaukee Bucks for their home opener, tip-off at 4:30. And finally, back to hockey. The Golden Bears open a home and away set against the Calgary Dinos tonight at Claire Drake Arena. Puck drop at 7 o'clock. The sports update brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and the surrounding area since 1993. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc.
Hour 3 of the Nielson Show begins here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Of course, the Nielson Show presented by Wil Johnston, Edmonton's trade home comfort specialist for nearly 50 years. Month's almost over. You can still get in on this deal. 10% off any new Trane furnace, air conditioner, heat pump installation. Now until the end of the month, you can bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump and get 25% off the package price. Visit wjsportstalk.com today for more details. Weiss, Johnson, and Trane. It's hard to stop a train. A little controvoid bringing there for hour number 3. Wil Fraser and for Dustin Nielson. He'll have the call tonight. Elks and Stamps. Join myself, Lieutenant Eric, and YouTube Trev. We'll be down at the tailgate, if you will. Get some food, get some drink in you before the Jays game and or the Elks game. Yeah, a brat or some smoked something or other. We'll have that down there at the tailgate. And, of course, the Elks, I believe, announcing yesterday they will have the Jays game on in some form or fashion down at the football game. So you can digest it all here tonight, Friday. And it should be pretty good weather here. I think 17 for a high today. So pretty cozy and a good fall evening to watch some baseball and or some football. Hour 3 of the Nielsen Show is brought to you by GD Liquidators. Auctions and appraisals, Edmonton's one-stop shop for new and used warehouse, office, and industrial items for almost 40 years. Don't miss their monthly online auctions at www.gdliquidators.com. Canadian-owned and operated. Make them your first call. Call 780-447-2787 or visit them, 14510 124th Ave. We're almost changing 200, I do believe, on the YouTube, so be keeping an eye on that. If you are watching on YouTube, hit that like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And, of course, a big hello to everybody on the iHeart TuneIn Radio app, the source, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, and back on 95.7 Cruise FM for the third hour as well. I do want to mention, for our guests today, Chris Johnston and Mike Garafolo, as you heard there, they were brought to you by and on the Firehouse hotline, Firehouse Subs. So we do have a lot of food items and options on the Nielsen Show to choose from tonight for Game 1 of the World Series, but I might suggest a Firehouse Sub. 15 Firehouse Subs locations across Edmonton and the Great Deer area. Easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs, hot, hearty, made to satisfy. They have a nice honey ham variety. It's nice and saucy. It's you get them in that little foldable box. It's not bagged up. Foldable box. Boom, you take it home. It's delicious. Firehouse Subs, located here on the West End by the Italian Center and by Wayne. So kind of a one-stop shop there. We'll get to trivia here. If you have any questions for 3 questions too many, I got a couple. I'm always privy to flex a few in, especially for Wil Fraser. You only get him once a week for maybe, couple. This is it for you. Dustin's back next Friday, I believe, for Halloween. So I don't know when the next time.
We'll see.
I guess until he gets sick again.
No, I was going to say.
Might be sooner than later.
Only a matter of time.
The time we take the hourglass and turn it back over, and the sand goes back.
Well, like
through.
when are you guys? When's the trip to Mexico?
February. End of February.
Okay, so I'll see you beginning of March.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. You'll be taking us into the playoff drive. Yeah, the whole bit there. 3 questions if you have any, 780-218-9999. We're still looking for a text of the day as well for Royal Pizza, $20 to Royal Pizza in the Paris Jewelers inbox. Timber Woodsman says, LTE, you missed a great Molten Lava show last night. Yes, I know. I had my work duties, but I'm hoping and assuming that went down very well.
Is that a concert? What was?
Yes, Molten Lava. It's a duo out of Vancouver. My buddy Alan Harding. Holyrood Hard Ticket says we need some Rhythm of Cruelty on the Goth Dance Party Friday. Another buddy of mine, Ian Rowley, and him and his girlfriend, Rhythm of Cruelty. Great Edmonton music scene. I know this is a sports show, so we'll get back to the... you're right, exactly.
All the way back to the days of Skinny Puppy.
Nirvana played here, for crying out loud.
Sure, man.
The Smalls, the list goes on.
Yeah.
Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. You see it here, Tool Shed. Again... Late to the party as the beer will be sampling, but they brought some extras because that's what you do.
Classy.
That's what you do.
Because they're classy.
We'll be doing that midway through the hour, and of course, all that ahead of the wrap for William Huff. Okay, kind of easy trivia. We do have somebody looking to stretch the record on the 95.7 Cruise FM era to 35-0. Oh
my gosh.
YouTube Trev, you wrangled somebody.
Pressure's on.
Do we got a stud on the line?
Yeah, this guy's a stud. I can tell. His name is Adam.
Well,
Adam.
you would be the expert.
Yes, I am a stud expert. Yes, correct. This is Adam.
Adam, how you doing?
Hey, good. Just pumped for the Jays game tonight, but yeah, thanks.
Yeah, as you should be, man. Where are you watching it tonight? You got big plans or what?
I got a men's league game at 10:30, but I'll probably watch it at home and catch a quick nap before the game.
That's a good plan. Good plan. Have you played trivia before?
No, but I've listened to it.
Okay, fair enough. So I like this. You're looking to stretch the record to 35-0 in the Cruise FM era, and you, of course, are playing for Mr. Mike's. You win, you'll be heading there with $25 of Mr. Mike's credits in your pocket. New location opening soon in Bonnie Doon. Check out MrMikes.ca for more details. You can order online at Skip the Dishes and DoorDash. Mr. Mike's, eat locally, enjoy casually. Mike, you need 3 out of 5. We'll start the ticker after I read the first question. Good luck.
All right.
Who do the Blue Jays play tonight?
The LA Dodgers.
Who do the Elks play tonight?
The Stamps.
Do the Elks play again this year after tonight?
No.
Who scored the winner for the Oilers last night?
Vasily Podkolzin.
Name a member nation of the UN.
Donald Trump.
Sure.
Here we go. Hi,
baby! Touch 'em all, Joe! You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life!
Hello? Calvin Johnson, touchdown Detroit Lions, or did he fumble? They're going to say he fumbled out of the back of the end zone. Are you kidding me?
No.
Down the left side, top of the circle, snaps a shot.
Brett Pollock, top shelf, Edmonton wins 3-2 in overtime. Andre Johnson got a touchdown.
By the way, you might want to put on a bathing suit, because you'll be channel surfing in no time.
The Rangers extend their lead to 4-1.
Holy jumping, he made that look easy.
Oh, what a catch! Calvin Johnson to the end zone, fumbles it!
You've got to be kidding me.
That's a really lack of character and judgment on his part.
Everything is just hand-to-hand compound.
Chad Owens! Unbelievable catch!
You play to win the game.
Leanne
Bell.
have a great long weekend, Lieutenant.
Now, a little Rick Pinter in there for a Club Eat Lube remix from the Vault. Congratulations to Adam. He's on his way to Mr. Mike's, and we are on our way to 35-0 in the Kinda Easy Trivia Cruise FM
Happy
era.
United Nations Day, my friend.
And same to you. I don't know which nation he chose for that.
Yeah.
It's kind of garbled, but probably something in the...
Myanmar.
Burma. Yeah. Scotty knows 42 in the nasty chat. The UN layup. Yeah. No, I mean, he had 4. He was playing with house money.
That's right.
As we say there in the end. 2, and it's more than 2, and that's what matters. Yeah, no, 3 out of 5. Yeah, he got them. Very good. Some CFL mixed in there as well. Kind of gets forgotten tonight, but that's okay. Adam knows, and Adam is off to Mr. Mike's. Time for 3 questions too many. Brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, who will be having a watch party in the dealership tonight for the Jays game. He won't have a big screen TV, but he's brought a white sheet that he'll be holding up and running it through a projector-style system. Okay. Popcorn machine there. It's a very carnival atmosphere down at the dealership for Mitch and the staff later tonight. So let's get into this. And first, social medias. We'll go around the horn here. I don't know which one of you would like to start by sharing your social media accounts.
Listen, I feel
first.
like... you please.
Oh, you're so nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Where
very
can
generous.
we learn about your stud factory?
Yeah, if you want to see what I'm
Factory.
doing tonight.
He's just pumping them out.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Well,
If
pumping,
If you want to see what I'm up to tonight, I will be at Kingsway Boston Pizza, and I'll be having a good one. So give
After
me a
the
follow.
tailgate?
After the tailgate, of course. But I'm going to have a buzz on, and I cannot wait for tonight's game. It's going to be great. So yeah, you can follow me on Twitter.
Cheap date tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if you're feeling lonely.
YouTube underscore Trev.
Join him in the booth.
Yes,
please.
Yeah,
that's right.
Can't wait. I saw Nasty there last week. Dudley, shout out Dudley. That was cool. He was cool. He was a nice guy. But yeah, if there's any other nasties there, I will be there for sure. But YouTube underscore Trev.
Just a little warning. He gets a little handsy.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
That's a myth. That's just for you, Will.
Those eyes getting crossover a little bit more. And
that's our little secret, Will.
Elks Stamps kickoff at 7:30 tonight. Tailgate will be happening. Of course, it's a couple hours, 3 hours early. So I'll be getting down there nice and early. YouTube Trev will be set up alongside Benny, I do believe, tonight in the EST tent.
Yeah, it's Benny.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a good time down there. That's kind of your
Temp
pregame.
should be good, actually.
Oh no,
it's supposed to be like 18 degrees.
It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful
day
afternoon
today.
and a nice evening. So crisp. So get down there if you want to join YouTube Trev in his walk to BP's Kingsway later on. You can do that, or just come hang out in the tailgate. Should be a great time. Jerry will be down there, Spirit, and lots of other nasties. Dave in Section T, Jason, Andrea, I'm sure. So should be a great. I'm looking forward to
room in this.
Tonight's going to be great. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to get the walking legs
gonna
out.
be great.
Yeah, it's going to be great. You might even see me at BP's Kingsway maybe on the way home there.
I was going to extend the offer.
Yeah?
Obviously, you're invited.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
We'll buy each other a beer.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I'd like that. But yeah, tailgate first. And then we'll get the crew. We'll just bring them all over to Kingsway.
It's going to be a great night.
Wait.
But your social medias, again, you did say them. You're
YouTube,
at YouTube
underscore Trev.
And your Smash Hit YouTube channel as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, if you want to check out what I'm doing on YouTube, do hockey videos, above average, one word. I think that I am above average.
Yeah.
I've been told I'm above average.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think in the playoffs you should rename it to Descent into Madness because that's what it's
what
like
it is.
tracking you through the playoffs.
Yeah.
Ooh, wordy.
Yeah.
It was a little wordy, but
Below average.
Stud Factory? Is that what he should?
Where can people follow you on social media?
You shouldn't. Social media is toxic and destroying this world. So please stay off of it.
Wil is still on X. The account is still live at Wil with Wil Fraser for hire for the number 4. Husband, father, wiser older brother.
Yeah, I'm
We've got
pretty
the
sure.
stainless picture up there.
Sure, Grok just uses it now. So
I'm going to retweet you. You still have that picture of Pierre Turgeon lighting the ice on fire there.
I think
the
I
passing
went,
of the torch.
Much like George Costanza, I left on a high note.
Question number 1. Jays Dodgers. Pretty simple. Who wins the World Series and in how many games does this series go? I will start off.
Okay.
And I want to preface my answer by saying I am rooting for the Jays. I'm not.
You're not against them.
I'm not against them.
Yeah.
I don't like the Dodgers.
They broke your heart, but that doesn't mean you're holding a grudge.
Right. But I will still say Dodgers in 6 games.
All right.
I don't know how they get there. I don't know if it's a split. The 2-3-2 I really like in a best of 7. It really mixes things up. I mean, I know Seattle's not the Dodgers, but the Jays did drop those first 2. You can see what it's still. You drop the first 2, you go back. But for the Dodgers, winning 1, even getting 1 on the road, you may never see the Jays back in Toronto again for the series, given you have to go there for the 3. So I don't think the Jays can really play with their food as much as they did against the Mariners in those first 2.
Well, they shouldn't have.
No,
they shouldn't have done it against the Mariners.
I know, but I'm just saying this is way. And I mean, I'm stating the obvious here, but even splitting. Like, would you say that the Jays need to sweep these first 2 to have a?
No, anything can
happen.
Watching this Jays the entire year. Like, this is a team that led the majors in come from behind wins. This is a team that has never been out of their games. Like, they've always had a chance, and we just saw it in the ALCS, right? Down 2 games, down 3 games to 2, down 2 runs in the 7th, right? Like this.
Ultimate protagonist.
Yeah,
story.
this is a team
arc is,
that just, they keep swinging. So it is really hard to pick against them, except it's also really hard to pick for them.
I get what you mean.
When you're playing against, like, it's not just that the LA Dodgers are defending World Series champs, have the best athlete on the planet playing for them, let alone the best baseball player ever. He is right now. There's not a better athlete in the world.
Yeah.
Than Shohei Ohtani.
And it glosses over the rest of the pitching staff,
right?
Which in itself is
right.
Yeah.
Like, you actually can't calculate how talented this Dodgers team is. But they went up against the team that I thought was the best team in the major leagues this year and swept them 4 straight in the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we very quickly forgot how
that
good
series
the Brewers
never
were.
happened. Yeah.
We very quickly, it just left our brains. The season that the Brewers had. The Brewers were dominant. Like, they boat raced teams this year in the major leagues, and they couldn't do anything against this Dodgers squad. So I picked the Dodgers in 5.
Dodgers in 5. YouTube Trev, where are you going here?
Well, I was going to say 6. And then
you can say the same.
And then
thing.
I was going to say 5.
Let me just say that
I'll go 5. I'll go 5.
If the Jays can
Dodgers,
get out of Los
obviously.
Angeles, I like the Jays.
Oh yeah, you bring this one home,
Yeah.
sure. Then it's game on.
Which is why I can't pick Dodgers in 6. Which is why I feel like Dodgers have to win in 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Do you get us? And people were feeling like during Game 7, Toronto. Here we go again. Like I playing Rogers. I get the vibe there and everything.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to speak it to an existence because people are going to come at me here and everything. But could see them going back home and having a bunch of hype with that, as you mentioned, but then ultimately succumbing to just the greatness of the Dodgers.
It's kind of like
depending on how the pitching kind of.
It's kind of like the Avengers movie, right? Like if you can make Thanos bleed, you might have a chance.
Yes. I'd never seen this film.
Sure.
But Thanos is very powerful.
Yes. He's inevitable.
Well, then there
as
you
he
go.
likes to say.
Okay, well,
and the Dodgers are inevitable. Yeah.
Okay, get your picks in. Who wins it? How many games? Duck Dad, Jays in 4. Going to put some money on that right now. Use your game sense.
I think you could get some good money.
Sure.
Good return on that.
Right? Why not? No, I mean, sprinkle a little bit, have a little fun there, and if it happens, it happens. And yeah. Question number 2. National Bologna Day. What's your favorite way to consume bologna? This is a processed, highly processed, correct? This is maybe not a question for you. When's the last time you've eaten bologna is the question. Do you like a good chub? Have you smoked a chub?
So like a hot bologna sandwich, Montreal style hot bologna sandwich would be the only way that I could consume it. There needs to be mustard. And it needs to be the most unhealthy white bread you've ever seen.
Is there a brand of mustard that you're going down with, or just a regular French's?
Any yellow mustard.
Yellow.
Is
no granule.
No. Just any. Like, bologna is processed, and the only way to consume bologna is to surround it by even more processed things. So processed cheese, the most yellow of mustards, and the whitest of Wonder Bread.
Not a side salad. What are you, balancing it out here?
No.
Have you ever had a smoked chub though? Like, have you ever somebody scored the whole log and then like?
Oh, like did an entire?
Cause you see the videos, yeah, and then you slice it, and then you grill it on both sides.
Well, it's just a huge hot dog, isn't it?
Yeah.
So no, I've never.
But then
had
you
that.
slice it, and you make like a hot dog hamburger. I guess would be the
feels like a waste of money.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Trevor, you a bologna man? Was that your lunch in the lunch kit back in the day for school, or was it some other deli meat?
Yeah, no, I'm a big Black Forest ham guy. Bologna on a sandwich, kind of, I don't know. It kind of weirds me out. It weirds me out personally, but I put a fat stack of bologna on my pizza if I make one.
Really?
I love bologna on pizza.
You're a weird kid.
Bologna on pizza.
Yeah, why not?
No,
there's better choices.
I know, but like that's the base: bologna, pepperoni.
Bologna is not a pizza topping.
Yeah, sure it is. Well, it is for me.
You get it at those thick ones.
No, I make it
that
thin. I make it
meat.
thin. Yeah,
thin bologna.
Yeah. You have to make it thin because it's thick. It's weird.
Sounds like you're just cutting up hot dogs on a pizza.
No, I'd never have a hot dog.
But you would have bologna. It's the same meat. Am I crazy about this? It's the same meat.
It's all the same. It all comes out of the same processed machine. McDiesel 780 says rolled slice with a musty dab. So you kind of got like a cigar going on there, hey? And what about the old Newfoundland steak? Isn't that you cut the edges of the bologna, put it in the pan, fry it up, and away you go? No, you get down on that.
Some cod cheeks, little flapper pie.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a stud joke that we can use, but it ain't coming to me.
I know. Yeah.
How do you like to consume your bologna on this National Bologna Day? Hey, maybe that's your food of choice tonight for maybe a bologna platter for you and the gang watching Jays and Dodgers game 1.
Having it on pizza. You're out of your mind.
No, it's totally normal. You should try it.
No, I'm not going to, and it's
I'll
not
make
normal.
You a pizza.
If it was normal, when you went into pizza places, they would be like, would you like bologna on it? But no pizza place ever asks you that.
It's just meat. I like as much meat on my pizza as I can.
Do you get that? Do you get the speakeasy? You go to BP's tonight, you're like, hey, can you give me the bologna special?
No, like I'll never ask for it.
Yeah.
Because
no one asks for it.
Yeah.
Do they have like a chub waiting for you in the back? Just if Trev walks in, we'll take a little slice off there. And
Trev's here.
Trev's
out the
here.
bologna.
Break out the chub.
Yeah. No. I don't know. It's always something I've done. Okay.
I hate bologna.
Yeah.
Just gonna ask you.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of.
What if they put it on a spit and like carved it like they do what's the
donair type?
A donair.
Yeah.
What if they treated it like a chunk of donair?
Well, people have been doing that where they shave a hot dog and you put it in the air fryer and you get like those bites or whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I could maybe air fry that up maybe, but it's got to be off the chub.
You're Really making a meal out of that word, aren't you?
Question number 3, and this goes back to the conversation yesterday. I promise you to get back to it.
Okay.
I don't know
wasn't
how
here.
this. No, I know, but that's why I'm going to refresh it. And for listeners and viewers who
let's
didn't,
do a
whether you're on
reset.
95.7 Cruise FM, the iHeart TuneIn Radio app, EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Not to air check you in real
or
time.
on
Let's reset
YouTube.
that.
Yeah, no, that's the terminology we use in the biz here. We are close to changing 200, hey? Yeah, we're about 33 away, so pound that thumbs up if you like what we're doing here. So the question was, you're paid an amount of money, a fee to stay in West Edmonton Mall for a calendar year, I think it was. A whole year. You can't go outside, but you're in there. They don't shut the mall down. It's not like you in by yourself going insane. People would be free to come and go. Family could come and stay with you at Fantasyland for a weekend or whatever the case is. People shopping and doing their thing, but you have to stay in the mall for a year. How much money? And I guess you didn't get to answer this question. So you can answer it as well. But if you had to do this, or if you did do this for some money, which store would be the one that you could see yourself frequenting the most? So you stew on that. Think about it for a sec. Will,
not to complicate things, but we're basically saying you would like sleep in the hotel.
You could, or you could when the lights go out and the doors get kind of locked, you could probably sleep by a fountain if you want.
I see, but
they would know
I can't.
You're not hiding.
I can't take like a vacant space and recreate like an actual living, like a house of some sort.
No.
Okay. No. Okay. So that.
Yeah, the mall has to be operational, but they know you're there, so it's all good. Like if you wanted to sleep on the floor, go ahead. I mean, but you have full reign of doing whatever. So how much money? What's the lowest you would go? Like 10,000.
Couldn't leave. Hey.
No, you can't go outside. You can't even go in the waiting pen of the 2 doors and kind of get some fresh air. You're in the mall
for a full 365 days.
Correct. Like if I offered you $10,000, would you?
No, I would need
50,000.
I would need $250,000. I would need.
That's exactly what Dustin said. $250,000. You were bang on for
$250,000.
$250,000.
Like bare minimum, I would need that. Like after tax as well. Like you can't be taxing me on that.
There's no
Yeah.
Straight cash.
Yeah.
Okay. And then is there a particular store that you would find yourself? The TNT supermarket for me would be
what
the
would I
answer.
keep coming back to? You're right. The TNT would be.
I could stay in there
right
a whole year.
You would definitely feel like you were away from the rest of the mall.
Yes.
Like
you
would
get your mind. Yeah,
it would be a nice
reset.
holiday. But is that the most common place? This
Store
is
or
good.
area.
Yeah.
The pool.
Yeah,
Are you on the rink spending most of your time? Maybe you're. I mean,
if I'm being honest with you, and knowing my sanity or lack thereof, it would probably be the car dealership.
You kidding me? The car dealership?
Because I would need to feel like I had actually left the mall
To do something. Yeah. I
and
get that
like
logic, I guess.
Like I could see me like going and sitting in the cars and like trying to pretend.
I don't mind this.
That I was driving somewhere.
You're trying to keep sane here. I get what you're.
Like I'm not thinking like the first month I'm in there. I'm thinking like the last 3 months. What am I doing? To survive? And you don't stay sane doing something like that, but you have to choose the right kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And I think that's the kind of crazy I would choose, where like people would be worried. Like I'd be sitting in that 4Runner making engine noises,
white knuckling
it. Yeah. Like pretending to flip off people who had cut me off.
Who's this guy? That's just a promotion he's doing. Don't worry about him. He's fine.
I would be Max Scherzering it.
Yeah.
Behind the wheel.
Well, a part of you would always remain at the mall, given this exercise. Like you don't leave fully.
You're right. Even though you left
physically,
part of you would always be there.
Yes. I think the theater as well. You could kill a lot of time watching a lot of films, and then that would be okay.
IMAX. You're right.
Sure.
I mean, the IMAX would be a good way to
think of the hours you could shave off.
But there's only so many movies, right? Like
good ones.
Any like.
Bones would say Trev would live at the Bologna Pizza Store. There are a lot of Bologna Chubb stud farm texts flying in the Paris Jewelers inbox that we might get to for the wrap. But Trev, what is a vendor that you would?
It would have to be the bowling alley.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
break my record every single day.
Yeah, the arcade would be an old school place for me to escape to.
Rec room wouldn't be bad.
I totally forgot that there was a rec room as well.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And I don't know if there's still a skate park in there. I know there's one.
There's the go-kart track.
Not like a skate park. Like
skateboarding.
That's where the skate park.
Yeah,
used
that's
to
where
be.
it was. The West 49.
Yeah, so that sucks. But you still go go-kart, and that's cool.
And before that, it was a movie theater.
Double A83 in the nasty chat. Will sitting in the car screaming, "Turn your headlights on!"
Exactly. Yes.
I think we found the dropping off point here on this question. That's 3 questions too many for Park Mazda. Coming up, we'll have Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. Tool Shed Brewing. Your next shot at $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. That would be great leading into Game 1 of the Jays-Dodgers tonight. So stay tuned for that. Hour 3 of the Nielson Show as well for GD Liquidators. Auctions Appraisals, Edmonton's one-stop shop for new and used warehouse, office, and industrial items for almost 40 years. Don't miss their monthly online auctions, www.gdliquidators.com. Call 780-447-2787 or visit them, 14510 124th Avenue. A sports update right now with YouTube Trev, and it's for the Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club. Accepting registration now for Thursday Night Men's Curling League. Plus, you can book your bond spill for the upcoming season. You get free ice rental with the purchase of buffet dinner. For more info, egmgolf.com. For more of the details and the info. Lieutenant Eric Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielson. YouTube Trev, the sports update. We'll be back. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week here on the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
What a game it was last night as the Edmonton Oilers held on to defeat the Montreal Canadiens 6-5 for their second straight win. The Oilers now hit the road once again, heading to Seattle to take on the Kraken. Puck drop set for 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Elsewhere in hockey last night, the Preds double up on the Canucks 2-1. The Jets get shut out by the Kraken 3-0, and the Senators get by the Flyers 2-1. Just 4 games on the NHL slate tonight. The Sabres welcome in the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Sharks take on the Devils. Washington takes a trip to Columbus to face the Blue Jackets, capped off with an all-Canadian matchup between the Flames and the Jets. NFL Week 8 kicked off last night that saw the Chargers pummel the Vikings 37-10 is the score. Justin Herbert went 18 for 25, completing 227 yards and 3 touchdowns in the victory, which sees the Chargers improve to 5-3 and the Vikings fall to 3-4. Week 8 action continues on Sunday. 2 games in the CFL tonight, starting with the Red Blacks taking on the Ticats in Hamilton. Then later on, it's the final game of the season for the Edmonton Elks as they welcome in the Calgary Stampeders. This one gets underway at 7:30 with Dustin Nielson on the call. Be sure to tune in to the Green and Gold Kickoff Show with Maddie and Milne for the final pre and post of the year. Coverage begins at 6:30. In the majors, Canada's team, the Toronto Blue Jays, are set to play in their first World Series game in over 30 years when they welcome in the Dodgers. Trey Savage gets the start for the Blue Jays while the Dodgers counter with Blake Snell. First pitch at 6 o'clock. Last night in the NBA, just 2 games that saw the Thunder edge the Pacers 141-135, and the Warriors defeat the Nuggets 137-131. 12 games in the association tonight, including the Raptors taking on the Bucks for their home opener. Tip-off for this one at 4:30. And finally, back to hockey. The Golden Bears open up a home and away set against the Calgary Dinos tonight at Claire Drake Arena. Puck drop at 7 o'clock. This sports update is brought to you by the Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club, accepting registration now for Thursday Night Men's Curling League. Plus, book your bond spiel for the upcoming season and get a free ice rental with the purchase of a buffet dinner. Visit egmgolf.com for more deals. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
Hour 3 of the Nielson Show continues. A little mastercraft for you. Neon Nights on this dance party Friday.
Well done.
Lieutenant Eric.
Well done.
Canada's, when it comes to techno duos and Canadian made. And again, Spirit of Canada going out to the Jays, little mastercraft Neon Nights. Lieutenant Eric, Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielson. He has the call tonight. Elks and Stamps. You can join myself, you two, Trev, down at the tailgate. Kickoff 7:30. Of course, Jays Dodgers taking precedence. They will be having the Jays game on there at Commonwealth, play Alberta Field. But do what you want. Live your life. It's going to be a great night regardless of where you take your sport fandom. And a good way to kind of get you there as well is through Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. Your chance at $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor coming up in a matter of minutes. Nielson Show, once again presented by Weiss Johnson. Weiss Johnson. Whoa, whoa. For the month of October, 10% off any new Trane furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump installation. Bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump. You get 25% off the package price. Visit WJSportTalk.com today. Coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. Maybe pair some Popeyes chicken with the Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. Hangout coming up as well, 9 to 11, in which I'll be joining Tom Gazzola and a cavalcade of stars on that one, 9 to 11. Don't miss it. But right now, let's get into it. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. We're joined virtually today. Tool Shed Brewery, you know them. We're going to get into, again, revisit the history of this brewing company, Tool Shed. Graham Sherman joins us virtually this morning. Graham, good morning, man. How you doing today? Thanks for joining us.
Fantastic. Thanks for having me. What a treat. This is great.
Yeah, awesome, man. Just so people know, and again, we've been doing this segment for some time. We've had Tool Shed before, but just a quick recap on the brewery. You are the founder, so we're going to the source here. Give us a quick recap on Tool Shed, how it came to be, and you know, present day here, sampling some of your fine beers this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, I didn't always brew beer. It used to be, I lived in Afghanistan for years and years. I'm not in the military, but I am a proud supporter of our country. And I spend a lot of time working on, you know, government and military IT infrastructure projects for the Canadian Department of National Defense, U.S. Marine Corps, and, you know, really cool clients like that. But I lived in Afghanistan for many, many years doing scary things in a scary place and trying to make it home safe to my wife and 3 amazing kids, right? But when I was home, I was geeking out and added my nerdiness to my hobbies in the backyard tool shed. And those hobbies are always going to be something like, you know, I make a lot of coffee. So I got a coffee roaster that you would not believe. All encrypted. So, you know, my coffee roast profiles can't fall into enemy hands. And, you know, and barbecue to the level where, you know, there's a probe in the ambient air of the pit and a probe in the meat. And, you know, I got this algorithm that looks at the differential of those set points. And it would say, yeah, ribs are going to be ready at 6:30. They would send you like an administrative access link to log in and infrared camera. You can see the ribs. Like there's some nerdy stuff, but all of it was always about, you know, just having people over and saying the greatest thing on earth is when you're chilling out, having a good plate of ribs or drinking a beer with great people, sharing great stories, and it's great food and beverage that kind of bring us together. And that was really the TSN turning point where I'm like, I can't go back to Afghanistan. I think making beer is about as great as it gets for bringing people together. And boy, you gotta take the leap sometimes, right?
Okay, I can't. We were taught it is National Bologna Day. Have you ever smoked a chub? Have you ever?
I thought you were going to say this story's baloney.
No, it's anything but. It's not.
Yeah, no, I have not. I have not. No.
Okay.
I've smoked a lot of things, but no.
Okay. Just need to get that out of the way, just as it was National Bologna Day in celebration.
Graham,
so good.
I remember years ago when you guys first started out having your people skills, I believe it was.
Yeah.
When you look back on that time, because I always kind of felt like you guys were the turning point for the craft beer revolution in Alberta, where it went from this nice idea to this realized like, oh no, we as a province can make a run at this. Did you have any idea that the industry would look the way it does today way back in the people skills days?
Well, it was part of my journey because when I started, it was illegal. And the laws in the province back then where you couldn't even apply to be a brewery unless you could brew 500,000 liters of beer. So those are those moments where I'm like, who am I? Like I could never get anything. Like, I don't know how to change a law in a province. And I'm sure you guys, I don't know if you know, but Lanny McDonald has a brewery, and it's not in Calgary, and it's not in Canada even. It's in the States. So you're like, even with people with millions of dollars can't change these laws. Who the frig am I? I'm some IT ginger brewing in his tool shed, right? And but going up to the AGLC and saying, guys, we are going to look back at some point in the future and say, can you believe there was a time where we could not brew in Alberta? We grow the freaking barley. We're the Napa Valley of beer. I can see combines out my window of my home, and we're going to look back and laugh at this. Imagine if you were the administration that gets that change done. And for us, what it meant was I had to export barley out of the province because I couldn't brew beers, but I could import beer. So I literally exported Alberta barley out of the province to British Columbia, drove out to Vancouver, brewed my beer, drove home, and imported my own flipping beer back into the province, and then went on the radio, went on the news, went everywhere I could go and talked about these amazing farmers, this barley we have, and we got those laws changed in 2013. And so I would answer your question and say, yes, that was this vision, although I was so horrified that I'd bitten off more than I could chew. I figured I was probably going to get divorced and bankrupt and homeless. But we got it done. And now there's something like 745 million breweries in Alberta. We did it. It's great.
Yeah. This segment we've been doing for countless years, and just to see where it's kind of grown from as well, and everybody kind of joining the party. Graham Sherman joining us, founder of Toolshed Brewery. If we could, let's get into the samples here. I know we've got dropped off 3, including the beer of the week. I don't know where you want to start. Take us through the candy lineup here.
I say let's start with late to the party.
Sure.
And feel free to crack one. I always say it's 8:44 a.m. somewhere in the world.
Oh God, yeah. We ain't shy. We ain't shy.
Is that how that saying goes?
So this one, late to the party.
And what I think is super awesome, cool about this beer is it's a hazy IPA, and I never liked hazy IPAs. Yeah. So my staff would say, let's brew a hazy. And I'm like, nah, it's a fad. And, we got to do this beer or that beer. And I was wrong. And I've learned that you're only doing good stuff if you allow your staff to prove how stupid you are in your own business. And so we literally called it late to the party because I was hanging on to this. Nah, hazies are a fad. But if we're going to do something, let's focus on it. Let's do like quality control. We did blind ABCD testing and made our staff pick the best one. And only when we took all of the best of class of like this style of beer that we could get our hands on, and our staff and our tasting panels blindly chose this as their favorite, that's when I allowed them to brew it on the big mothership and put it out into the world. And so cheers, guys. There's although we're late to the party, this is I think one of the best hazy IPAs out there.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you got staff you got to find staff that are better brewers than me. I'm a home brewer. So you got to listen to them when they say, hey, turns out, our brewing team are some of the best hazy brewers in the country. Let them loose, let them go. So now I like hazies.
Late to the party. This is your beer of the week. Once again, people are already doing it, so let's open it up. $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. Text in the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Text beer me, and we'll put you all into the big hat, and one of you will be winning that $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. Delicious stuff. Anything? I mean, you gave us the history of the name and everything. The artwork is that we always like to ask about the art on the cans because you walk in any Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, you're just blasted with a bunch of cans and all this different type of artwork. Do you choose this? Do you let your expert staff to kind of figure out what's best to kind of sell your cans in terms of a visual?
Oh, we do everything. We usually grab a table. We call it the Alberta table, and it's literally the shape of Alberta. We all sit around it, and we brainstorm. We put a box of crayons on the table. Oh, nice. We tell stories about what it should be. Our VP of Sales, Jim, his daughters have come up with 2 of the last can ideas. They're genius young ladies, and they just grab crayons, and we're like, that's way more genius than they know. This one, I think, is like is literally they're listening to that song you opened with just now.
That's
they're all raving,
that's
right?
A great pairing. You're right there. Where do you want to go next here? We got the West Coast IPA. And
Yeah. Why don't we do that?
Departure.
Departure. So this one kind of comes from that. We've always had an IPA. It used to be called Star Cheek. And part of the philosophy of our brewery is you can't just say, hey, this is our recipe. It will be good for the rest of time. You have to evolve with the palate of your community. People in Alberta, when we started, didn't drink hoppy beers. They didn't drink sours. And that IPA was reminiscent of that type of palate. But last year we went on a trip down to Yakima. And that's where all the hops grow. That's the Napa Valley of hops.
Yeah.
And what we saw there was IPAs were becoming lighter, fresher, more aromatic. It's not some bitter bomb that rips all the taste buds off your tongue. It's fresh. It almost is like a Pilsner. And then it's got this beautiful, juicy, tropical finish that it comes through more like a bouquet of hops and more in the aroma than anything else. So it's like Five Alive for adults, man. It's juicy and tropical and clean. It's a lighter beer than most IPAs in the past. So this is a departure from the typical IPA we're used to. We got on a plane and went down to the birthplace of the best hops on earth to get it. And we just thought that kind of road trip to be better than we've ever been was kind of a cool theme. This is one of the pictures that our staff's children drew a picture, and we were like, man, even the little cross hatching, the way they colored with crayons, the sky, our graphic designer captured it. Yeah. So cool, right?
Oh, very nice on the eye. Well, cheers to the departure and cheers to the Jays tonight as well. I'm sure, Graham, you're on board fully. Yeah, absolutely. So.
Of course. What a cool thing. Yeah. Cheers to children running our brewery.
Yeah, you're absolutely, like, everyone hears IPA and they assume West Coast IPA, and that there's a nod to it in the taste, but you're right, it's not a West Coast bitter beer face type of IPA.
Yeah.
Nailed it. No bitter beer face. Super cool, eh?
Yeah, the final one here, this is a little different art, I guess, and this is maybe, I don't know if this is HMCS Calgary serving 30 years, the Pilsner. Does this have any connection to you and the time in Afghanistan or anything like that, or this is just a separate idea altogether?
No, it is, of course, something I'm super proud of, and the tie would be that I just serving, my country the way I did. I'm a civilian, but I just have so much respect for the troops. You come home with this mad lunatic love for Remembrance Day when you see how our country is viewed by the rest of the world in a war zone. We're not this bravado, filled bunch of folks. We're humble, and we just go over and we help and serve other countries. It is super humbling. So I just have this mad love for Canada and for our men and women of the Department of National Defense. And so we're so out of control honored. This is the first time that the Canadian government has allowed a brewery to honor the Department of National Defense on a beer. You don't get to talk about, HMCS Calgary and the Navy and have these logos on a beer without incredible approval from the federal government. And this is the first time that's ever happened. So, our Navy's ship, the HMCS Calgary, is a really cool ship out in Victoria, and it's celebrating its 13-year anniversary. So to commemorate, people think, wait, we have a Navy in Calgary, and it's not quite that. But to have this beer in honor of our country and our Navy and our troops is such an incredible honor. So they came and they said, what kind of beer do we brew? And Pilsner is just one of those amazing beers, super light and easy to drink. But the beer nerds and like those super advanced palates, they can tell that it's a well-brewed Pilsner or not. And you can't hide behind, big malts and big hops. This beer has to be perfect, or people can tell, and it is a pretty awesome Pilsner, with respect to the military.
The way that you're talking, it reminds me, I had a friend who served 4 years in the British Regulars, and when he was going through his training, his commanding officer told him the perfect soldier is British trained, American equipped, and Canadian born.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
So
when you say, you're absolutely right. When you talk about when you're out in Afghanistan and how the rest of the world views it, that comes from a British member looking back on the world.
Man.
Yeah.
That's a great phrasing. Yeah. Well, cheers to the troops ahead of Remembrance Day as well. Yeah.
Cheers, gentlemen. But nice and clean and crisp, right? You get that little touch of crispy hops, but not anything that's, again, clawing at your tongue. That's a crisp, clean beer, right?
Yeah.
You
It's a
found-
Pilsner.
You can
man.
drink a lot of those.
Absolutely.
You can drink a lot of those in a row.
Yeah. Well, I do have to make one criticism, though, Graham, and maybe you can correct me, but I had always assumed that Angry Redhead was after you.
It is.
You're not a very angry man there, Graham.
Oh, yeah, you haven't seen it. The red rage is a real thing.
We're glad we're getting this side of you today.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, right now you like me. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. It's a real Hulk type thing.
People, though, are loving your energy, Graham. This is just what we need on a Friday heading into tonight's Game 1 of the World Series.
Yes.
You've been a hell of a guest, man, and it's a hell of a brewery. We've had you before. We'll probably have you again. Really appreciate your time. Go
To the
Jays.
OG.
Love it.
To the OG. Yeah. Raise another, Cheers, Graham. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Go
Thanks,
Jays.
Yeah, we could. I can't remember who it was they texted in, but Graham would be a great hangout guest.
Yeah.
I think if we could somehow get him up here to EST Studios. But once again, 780-218-9999. Text Beer Me. And you will be going into the hat and the draw for $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. These would go down a treat, especially that Pilsner tonight for Game 1 of the World Series.
And he's not telling a big fish tale there. Like this guy, Graham, who we just spoke with, started in his tool shed as a home brewer and has built this brewery and the industry of craft brewing in Alberta into what it is that you see.
I want to see that coffee rig he was talking about. I can only imagine. Like it's probably about watch the coffee. It goes down the things and it's all wow.
A Rube Goldberg device sort of thing.
Yeah. That type of, that's totally what it is. Chris says Graham can sure sell beer. I want them all. Yes, you can get. Look, once again, the beer of the week is that Late to the Party.
Late to the Party. What a perfect name.
Yeah, you can get all of them though. Late to the Party right now. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. It is $14.99 for that 4-pack of Tall Boys right now at all Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. Once again, Beer Me 780-218-9999. Let's get into the wrap right now for William Huff. Kind of up against the clock, but we'll get going. If you want your place to look as good as ours, and why wouldn't you? Check out WilliamHuff.com. They've been in business since 1952. You know they're incredible what they do, William Huff. You can see them down at Play Alberta Field, Commonwealth Stadium tonight. Elks Stamps rounding out the regular season in the Canadian Football League. Join myself. I'll be down at the tailgate. YouTube, Trev and Benny will have the tent set up. Great weather nights, no excuses there. They'll have the Jays game on, so you can kind of go down, peruse the tailgate for one last time. I know mid-January, everybody will be like, oh, I missed the tailgate, Get it into you now, and then it won't be so bad during the winter months. But and then Jays, do whatever you want with that tonight, of course, and pick up some of these beers to enjoy the game. Gentlemen, for the wrap, what did we learn on today's show?
Well, I learned that Trevor didn't know what a stud was, even though he used it constantly.
And operates his own stud farm.
Exactly, yes. He had been describing certain young Oilers as studs. This is a stud, this is a stud. And then we finally went into a break and he goes, what is a stud? And so we had to explain to him animal husbandry.
I think he just thought it was another word for cool. I'm paraphrasing here, but...
that's absolutely what I thought.
Yeah.
So it's changed my...
It is kind of cool from a certain
But it's what
perspective.
you learned on the show. This is organic. What did you learn on the show?
Definitely the biggest thing I've learned. Yeah, for sure. That was true. Yeah, these guys are telling jokes, off air. I'm like, well, what are you guys talking about? What does this mean? I don't get it. And they're like, well, and I'm like, I don't know if I like that anymore.
Howard and Savoy running around in the pen.
What a bunch of studs.
Look at those studs leaning against the fence post there.
Yeah, I don't know. So that changed. Like I'll joke and say it, but I won't say it.
Yeah, you probably
still
won't
use
live and
the term.
die on it as
No,
much.
you still use the term. I mean, it's
or maybe you'll just now use it very accurately.
Yeah, now I'll use it for its
Like
proper
based
term.
upon personal information. No, that guy is legitimately a stud.
Yeah.
I know what. Do you know what stud means? Let me tell you.
Not in the bathroom at BP's tonight, Kingsway. You want to be throwing that. That's one place you don't want that terminology to be.
Yeah, no.
The guy's a real stud.
Hey, you stud.
Yeah. I know a stud when I see one.
Yeah,
yes.
Anyway, I learned that also. That was pretty cool backstory with Graham there. I didn't know like that. Everyone sells their product. They come in. That's awesome. I love it. They all do such a good job.
No, like I said,
no
one of the OGs, man.
Yeah, no one's really come in and told the story of how it all started. Well, they have, but like to that extent, that was really cool to learn.
He's a great guest.
Yeah, that was awesome.
He knew what he was
Shout out
doing.
to Graham.
This coming across the wire here, Bo Bichette will make his return to the lineup tonight. Jays announced.
Who's coming out?
Bichette has taken outfielder Joey Loperfido's spot from the ALCS roster.
Oh, so he'll just be on the bench.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, additionally, first baseman Ty France was added to the roster in place of righty reliever Yariel Rodriguez. So, bit of news and notes there. I don't know how Bichette's going to be. I mean, we'll see, but great option to kind of bring in, and of course, the year he had at the plate doesn't hurt. So Bo Bichette included on the roster, much to nobody's surprise, maybe, but
it'll depend on how George Springer is his knee is feeling.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sound of the day, we're going to run back the Club 8 Blue Remix. We stretched it out to 35-0 in the 95.7 Cruise FM area for kind of easy trivia.
Is it 36 now?
35.
35 after today.
35 today. Go for 36 Monday, but Club 8 Blue Remix from the vault in case you missed it. Adam is off to Mr. Mike's.
Hi,
Baby! Touch 'em all, Joe! You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life!
Hello? Calvin Johnson, touchdown Detroit Lions, or did he fumble? They're going to say he fumbled out of the back of the end zone. Are you kidding me?
No.
Down the left side, top of the circle, snaps a shot.
Brett Pollock, top shelf, Edmonton wins 3-2 in overtime.
Andre Johnson got a touchdown. By the way, you might want to put on a bathing suit because you'll be channel surfing in no time.
The Rangers extend their lead to 4-1.
Holy jumping, he made that look easy.
Oh, what a catch! Calvin Johnson to the end zone, fumbles it.
You've got to be kidding me.
That's a really lack of character and judgment on his part.
Everything is just hand-to-hand compound.
Chad Owens! Unbelievable catch!
You play to win the game.
Leanne
Bell.
Have a great long weekend, Lieutenant.
I sure did. I sure did. Boy, oh boy, lots to digest there, and we don't have enough time to do it.
That's a lot to unpack. That's a big suitcase.
That is a huge suitcase. Royal Pizza text of the day. Get a Royal Pizza tonight for the game. Why not? That'll go down great as well, alongside these
what a perfect
Tool
movie.
Shed beers. I'm going to go with this one. Hampton Steve. Does Baloney Snack smoke his own baloney chub? Of course, we weren't only talking studs on the show today, but also Baloney Chubs on National Baloney Day.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You were hitting it out of the park today, pal.
Yeah, he absolutely does. I guarantee it.
He smoked a chub?
Yeah, he's that kind of guy.
Have you been around him?
When
he
he
smoked a chub? Yeah.
When he smoked a chub, no.
No.
No, he does it by himself.
That baloney stack
He
is a stud, though.
I hope so.
He is.
We are, well.
I love Fridays.
Okay, to wrap up here, yes, oh, don't we all? The Nielson Show, presented by Weiss Johnson. Weiss Johnson, whoa. One more week left in the month. You can get the 10% off any new Trane furnace areas, AC or heat pump installation from now till the end of the month. Bundle the furnace with an AC or heat pump. You get 25% off the package price. Get your home comfortable now for all seasons. Weiss Johnson and Trane. Trane, it's hard to stop a train. Visit WJSportsTalk.com today. Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen Studio, keeping us hot all morning long. Get that 3-piece deal, $8 right now. That would also add to your buffet of food tonight. Hour 3 of the Nielson Show, too, for GD Liquidators. Check them out today. Call 780-447-2787, 14510 124th Avenue, or online, www.gdliquidators.com. Hangouts coming up next. I'll be on there, 9 to 11. If you're watching on YouTube, just keep it on the autoplay. It'll
You're
take
on the
you right
Hangout
over.
today?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and on the Lock Shop from 11 to noon.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going
It is all LT all the time.
You're getting a big diet of me. I'm studying myself out to the EST.
Now
the teeming masses.
We'll finally get your thoughts on some things.
Well, I'm going to open up a bit more, after a few more of these tool sheds. What else? Enjoy the Jays game tonight. Thank you again for lending your time. I know it's very precious.
I always appreciate coming in here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
YouTube Trev keeping everything on the rails. I'll see you tonight.
That's good. Yes,
I'll see you in the Lock Shop, but I'll see you tonight as well.
Yes, you will.
So for YouTube Trev, Wil Fraser, I'm Lieutenant Eric. Hopefully not missing anything. Of course, the Nielson Show, Weiss Johnson. EST presented by Play Alberta. Hop on there, get Jays Play of the Day. Plus 200 boosted Jays to win the World Series. Goodbye. We love you. Have a great weekend. Go Jays, go.